fantastic dude, and all the best to you and your family through this. And it does lead us into the discussion around Brock Besser, his absence here tonight. And the most important thing here is, based on what the team has reported, that through everything he's gone through, what the reporting has been on it, is that whatever the exact issue is, because we don't have details on what type of blood clotting issue it is, but it's not deemed to be life-threatening at the moment.
Yeah.
But he's probably not going to play again in this postseason. Obviously, not having him is going to be a massive, massive, massive loss in the playoffs, right?
Yes.
Especially if you move on to the Western Conference Final. But for a single game here tonight, do you rally around it enough, right? Can this be enough of a rallying point and a cry that the guys band together to overcome it? And that gives you an extra little bit of juice of, we're doing it for Brock tonight. You're going to miss him if you move on. But at the same time, the playoffs, every single team that goes through and wins has to fight through adversity and fight through injuries. Look at the Dallas Stars. For all the talk about them being unbeatable, Rupe Hintz is a big part of their team, and he's banged up.
But the thing is that, you don't have to worry about winning 4 games against Dallas until you get through this one tonight.
It's about one game
This is
tonight.
this is the only thing that matters.
Exactly.
Right now.
And you can, even if the Canucks win, you can be down on their chances against Dallas, but worry about what happens tonight. But as it goes for tonight's game, and we spoke to Justin Williams about this. This is a guy who's played in 9 Game 7s, has 7 goals in those games.
Mr. Game 7.
Mr. Game 7, right? And he talked about, you know what? For one game, not having him, that gives you this boost of rally around. Do it for him, right? And obviously, you'd rather have Besser be in the lineup, but can you at least mitigate his absence by playing a little bit extra, having a little bit extra juice because of him tonight?
I think that's 100% something you can do. Even Rick Tocchet mentioned it in Behind the Bench, which we had a little bit earlier. But look at other examples through these playoffs. The Maple Leafs missing Austin Matthews for games 5 and 6 against the Boston Bruins in the opening round. Find a way to win those games. Nobody gave them a chance in hell to win those games, and they forced a game 7. Brad Marchand missing for the Boston Bruins against Florida after the punch he took from Sam Bennett. Bruins, I think they won 1, lost 1, but they found a way to extend that series without Brad Marchand and got to a point where at least he came back into the lineup.
Right.
And they got the series back to a point where he was able to come back into the lineup. Now, that may not be the case with Brock. And you're missing one of your big-time goal scorers. And that hurts you long term. But in a Game 7, it's just one game. And anything can happen in one game. Can you play to your staples? Can you play your game? Find it so that the game is decided. If it's close, it can be decided on one moment.
Yeah.
And one moment can be decided by Ilya Mikheyev. It can be decided by Sam Lyon. It can be decided by anybody. So, yes, for as much as losing Brock is a downer, and you feel for him especially, he's been so good this year, for one game, the Canucks can rally around this and find a way to overcome it.
But honestly, I guess it's really the only thing you can do too, right? It's you have one or two ways of approaching it. One is you feel sorry for yourself and you go into the game.
Well, you're not going to throw in the towel.
Well,
right?
exactly. So the only way you can do it is find anything you can to rally around and to give you some extra little inspiration. And again, how much of a difference do these things make? We're talking about a percentage maybe, right? 1%, 2%. But and that's not going to be the reason why you win or lose the game tonight. It's about the collective. And if you believe in this Canucks team with how they've played this year, which how they've embodied the word resiliency as a word they themselves chose to best describe them so far this season, is that they've given us their best when they've needed it. And there's no greater stage where that needs to happen than tonight.
So line rushes are happening as we speak. And one thing we do know is we're still waiting for the full line rushes to go through. Pettersson, Miller, Mikheyev looks to be the Canucks top line tonight, Sat. As we talked about during the course of today's show, that's what we felt the coach was going to go with, and that is exactly what he seems to be going with. Pettersson, Miller, Mikheyev. Now, I know we're bound to get a bunch of texts coming in. Why Mikheyev on that line? Why not Höglander? They need somebody that can score up there with Pettersson and Miller. The play always dies on Mikheyev's stick. I get it. I know Mikheyev hasn't scored in 7,000 years, however long it is. But I would imagine the coach's perspective is he wants a defensively responsible winger there because he knows that line is going to match up against McDavid a ton tonight.
Absolutely. And you know that Mikheyev, if he's playing at his best, he skates really well. He's been good defensively. The reason he came out of the lineup, now, I know it was reported he had an injury. I know Doywall reported that. He's been dealing with some sort of an injury as well, and I'm sure that's playing a part in it. But it was one of his meekest games that we've seen. And I've always defended Mikheyev that said, okay, even if he's not scoring, he's been good defensively. He uses his speed on the forecheck. He's getting chances. He's generating. At least he's doing positive things. He's not scoring, but he's doing a lot of other things well.
In every game outside of Game 4. Yes.
But in Game 4, he wasn't doing those things well. And it's hard for you to justify his place in the roster when he's not doing those extra things. So if he gets back to just doing those extra things at the very least, then he's going to make an impact tonight.
Let's bring in our next guest here on the Canucks Central pregame show presented by White Spot. It is Yannick Hansen, our pregame analyst for every Canucks postseason game, and this analyst brought to you by the Magnuson Auto Group, Metro Ford, Port Coquitlam, and Magnuson Ford in Abbotsford on both sides of the Fraser to serve you. Thanks for this, Yannick. Tough news for the Canucks losing Brock Besser, but as Sat and I have discussed, you worry about the next series when it comes, I guess, but for one night, you can rally around Brock's injury and do it for Brock, so to speak. Is that a real thing amongst players?
Yeah, for one night, obviously it hurts taking him out of the lineup. There's no question. What he's done, not only this year, but in the playoffs, have been nothing short of miraculous. So again, you're gonna miss him. But again, it is one game. It's 60 minutes. The puck is slippery. The ice is frozen. Like, it's one of those things you just need. You need a little spark, and this could be the spark where they say, okay, we're gonna give up about what happened. And the 12 of us, 12 forwards, 6Ds that are in the lineup, they're going to get it done. Again, if everything was what it was, you would like him in there. But again, you hope that, like you said, it is one game, one night. And then again, if they move on, yeah, you're going to miss him. There's no question about that. Over the length and duration of a series, you need players. You need players who can put the puck in the net. But for one night and one night only, next man up mentality, you hope that will be enough to overcome it.
Well, and we know that Mikheyev is going to be playing now with Elias Pettersson and JT Miller. Do you like that trio now that Besser is out, to put Lindholm back with Garland and Joshua and have Pettersson play with Miller and Mikheyev tonight?
I think it's more important to get Lindholm back with Joshua and Garland, because they were such a good line and have been. Outside of Miller, Besser, and Suter, obviously they've been the most productive players. So getting them back together, hopefully getting some offense out of them, and then you hope that JT can will Petey and Mikheyev. I'm almost throwing them in the same boat there. Will them into this series, into this game, and then have a 1-2 punch there, and hope that they can get it done.
So line rush is just happening. Joshua, Lindholm, Garland, Pettersson, Miller, Mikheyev, Höglander, Suter, Lafferty, Bluger with Phil DiGiuseppe and Nils Oman on D, Hughes, Hronek, Susie Myers, Zadorov, Cole, Archer, Shilovs, the starting netminder. Oilers going with the same lineup. One thing about the Canucks all season long, Yannick, I know they were a tough watch on Saturday, but they haven't had too many consecutive bad performances. Do you feel like the Canucks can bounce back here, or did the Oilers find something that the Canucks are going to struggle with here, even in this Game 7?
That's twofold, because they've proven again and again that they can. But then again, when they lay an egg like that, you're worried. There's no question about that. But you're coming home. This is a Game 7. This is what every little hockey player dream about. Playing these type of games, biggest stage you can, and then having the opportunity to put your team onto the next round. So it's one of those things where everything goes out the window. Everything that's happened in the first 6 games. The 82 games we played them for this reason and this reason only, that this game is played in Vancouver and not in Edmonton. So like I said, just like with rallying around Brock and getting over that, this is no different. Like, you can't, you probably aren't even going over the game, because there's nothing to take from it that was good. You lost. Whether you lost in overtime, you lost 2-1, you lost 6-5, or you get blown out 7-1, it doesn't matter. All that matters is both teams have won 3 games, and you need one more win. That's the beauty of the playoffs. You need to have that short memory that just because you played a bad game doesn't matter. You're going to get a new chance, and all that matters is the next shift.
Well, yeah, and that's exactly what it's all about here in this Game 7. And, I mean, we were talking about, whether it's Ilya Mikheyev, who's had a tough season, Elias Pettersson, who's had a, tough past 20, 30 games. If any of those guys come up big tonight, it changes everything. So if you're a player who's had, say, a tough stretch, how jacked up would you be to be able to change the discourse around you in a game like this?
Yeah, you're borderline shaking in the dressing room right now because it's like you know what it means. We slay the dragon. That's the kind of like you joke around it. This is what legends are made of. But if somebody comes through tonight, we will remember it for I don't know how long. But it's one of those things that you can cement your name, your team, your line, a play in history. So it's like you like I say, you're nervous like hell. There's no question about that. But you also know that these are the moments that. This might be the only moment in these players' careers they're going to be standing in a spotlight like this. So if you find a way to come through, and that's the exciting part, if you find a way to come through here, and hopefully that feeling is enough to pull some of these guys up by their hairs and have a performance of a lifetime, if you will, and push Vancouver into the third round.
As a player, I'm sure nobody wants to be the guy that makes a mistake, but you can't play passive. You can't play scared at the same time. How do you balance those emotions as a player?
Yeah, you play the exact same way if you played the last 12 games, because it's another playoff game. You play with very, very small margin for errors, and that's no different. The only thing is it's going to get highlighted 4 hours from now on SportsCenter if there's a mistake that's going to send your team out. But again, you play the same way. It's the same game. There's more on the line. The 20 minutes you play of the periods, those are normal. Once you get in, you play, that feel normal. Right now it's not normal. Intermissions are not normal because you get a chance to think about things there and worry a little bit. But the 20 minutes the game is going, that's normal. That's our comfort zone, if you will. Yeah, obviously we don't want to make mistakes and stuff like that, but that's what we're used to. So that is the norm. It's everything else surrounding it that's highlighted and hyped to a point that it's very hard to comprehend.
Yeah, and I mean, we can already feel the vibe here, the buzz in the building. I mean, fans being nervous. We know the building's going to be absolutely rocking here in this game. And I'm not quite sure if home ice advantage makes a difference or not. But for a Game 7, would you be much happier being on home ice, or would you also embrace being on the road for a Game 7?
I'd take home ice any day of the week, if you will. There's no question. You want to play at home, even if it's just for the last change. But count in that if you can get the crowd in on it, it is an advantage. There's a reason it's called that. Yeah, I've lost Game 7s on home ice, but I've won them too. I've played Game 7 on the road as well. I would rather play them at home. Everything more is what you're familiar with, so to speak, your routine, where you sleep. That might be a little different because they might be staying at hotels the night before, which you normally don't do in the regular season. But your way to the rink, your pregame routine there, all those little things are just familiar. And we're a creature of habits. We like to do the same thing over and over again. And again, a place that you're doing it the most often does feel more familiar to you. So I'll take home ice any day.
McDavid said something that I wanted your take on. He said today that essentially the team that's won the neutral zone has won each game in this series. What does he mean by that?
Well, neutral zone, you're either on your heels or you're on your toes. And again, if we scratch Game 6, which was ugly, the last game Edmonton won was Game 4.
Yeah.
Vancouver couldn't get out of their own end through the neutral zone and into Edmonton. Edmonton found a way to win the neutral zone, which meant they were playing half-ice hockey. Every time we came out to the neutral zone, it just got turned over turn back the other way, and you have 3 Edmonton Oiler forwards hunting you. So when you win the neutral zone, it means you spend so much more time in the offensive side of the puck. Your Ds are having an easier night because they don't have to go back for pucks getting hit. Your forwards are fresher, you're hungrier. It's always easier skating downhill, and downhill is the offensive way. Nobody likes back-checking and covering and blocking shots. It's got to be done, and it gets a lot of credit when it gets done proper. But again, we'd rather be on offense. We'd rather tip pucks. We'd rather finish our checks, shoot pucks on net with a chance to score. And that's where, when you win the neutral zone, you control possession and you control territory as to where the game is played.
Now, as far as you're feeling heading into Game 7 here tonight, what do you think is going to happen? Do you have a good vibe about your Canucks here tonight, or how do you think it's going to go?
I wish you wouldn't have asked me that question. I've been pretty bang on here with my feelings, that's not to toot my own horn here, so to speak. But I'm at a toss-up here. I didn't like their game, and I do take stuff from the previous game, even though I just said that you shouldn't and all these things. And then the Brock situation. Goals have not been that easy to come on, so to speak. It's come from him, JT, that line, and then a little bit here and there, and I'm worried about not having him. That's where I'm saying I'm hoping for not a miracle, but some of these players that we haven't seen to come in and make a major impact. Because if we have to rely on JT or the Garland, Lindholm and Dakota Joshua line, then I don't think we can win. So we're gonna need the other 8 forwards and Ds to get this done.
Well, one final one, and it's got to be quick here, Yannick. But the Oilers, I'm seeing for them, this is the most significant game in the McDavid era. Like there's a lot of pressure on them to get it done tonight. That can be tough as a player too, can it?
Yeah, because Vancouver, it's a success now. You asked me that before too. They have done everything they can. Everything now is gravy. Even the Lindholm trade, it was a bonus. I take that now with the way the season panned out. Where Edmonton, they are cup contenders. They cannot afford to lose out a second round where they were huge favorites. So there are tremendous pressure on them. The only problem is they have risen to that pressure when Vancouver had put them on the down 1-0, down 2-1, down 3-2, and they have answered that bell. And that's where I'm worried that McDavid and Draisaitl will answer that again tonight. And then do we have a response?
Yannick, we always appreciate the time. Hopefully we have another one on Thursday.
I would love to. Take care and enjoy the game.
There is Yannick Hansen joining us here on Canucks Central. Final thoughts, Sat. We've only got a minute before we get to back to Batch and Randy.
I don't know, man. I got a good feeling about this. Maybe it's the sunshine. Maybe it's all the Canucks fans being hyped up here. I think if the Canucks bring their A game, which I think we haven't seen enough of in these playoffs, they're going to get it done here tonight. So that's how I feel about things.
We both had Canucks in 7 at the start of the series. I know for me, I'm not changing my prediction on that.
Imagine you would get to Game 7 and it's like, you know what? I think it's going the other way.
You rally around the Brock Besser news, put in your best performance tonight, leave it all on the line, and see what happens. That's all you can do. It's Dan Riccio, Satyar Shah. This has been the White Spot pregame show. A great game deserves a great meal. Order White Spot takeout during the playoffs and save 20% with code SAVE20. Some exclusions apply. Details at whitespot.ca. The puck drop. Game 7 is next on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
BCers love hockey, and they also love burgers. What's even better is saving 20% off takeout during the playoffs. Order White Spot online and save 20% off with code SAVE20. Not valid on May 12th, June 16th, or on pirate packs and alcohol. Only at whitespot.ca.
The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a skilled trades worker, you might not be feeling that way right now. But in Alberta, skilled trades workers can earn more, save more, and live more with better wages and a lower cost of living. Visit albertaiscalling.ca to learn more about the $5,000 moving bonus for the first 2,000 skilled trades workers who move to Alberta, stay for a year, and successfully apply. A message from the Government of Alberta.
What are you reading?
The email with detailed pricing on Parksville 96 in Surrey. This is awesome, and they're on sale now.
Are you going for the luxury package or the investor pricing?
One of each. A place to live and a mortgage helper down the road.
I can't believe the location and amenities, the park, SkyTrain, and so much to do right in the building.
And I can walk to work at the hospital and save a ton on gas and commuting time.
Let's do it.
Your feet, the silent workhorses of your body. They've danced you through life's highs, sprinted you through challenges, even stood firm on the green for that last putt. But even the strongest of supporters need support. That's where Kintec comes in. Not just with shoes, but with custom orthotics that ensure every step is aligned and comfortable. Visit kintec.net and discover how orthotics can transform your every step.
BCers love hockey, and they also love burgers. What's even better is saving 20% off takeout during the playoffs. Order White Spot online and save 20% off with code SAVE20. Not valid on May 12th, June 16th, or on pirate packs and alcohol. Only at whitespot.ca.
Hey, this is Quinn Hughes.
Miller, high slot for Hughes with a wrist shot. He scores! Quinn Hughes throws it to the goal. It beats Sergei Bobrovsky.
And you're listening to Canucks Hockey and Sportsnet Radio Network.
The Canucks had a chance to finish off the Oilers in Game 6, but Edmonton wasn't ready to go down without a fight. Holloway gets it right wing at center, stood up by Pettersson. Cuts into the middle of the ice, into the Vancouver zone, to the net. He scores! Now Nugent Hopkins behind the net for McDavid on the right wing side, centering pass. Hyman shoots. Sheehan stopped it, but it rolls in. Top of the circle, down low. Hyman with a one-timer. He wired that one off the outside of the post. Now McDavid again to the line for Bouchard. Heavy drive. He scores! Evan Bouchard stepped into that one from the point. And the Oilers extend their lead. A crucial goal for them in Game 6. It's 3-1. So tonight, one game will decide this all-Canadian matchup, with the winner advancing to face the Dallas Stars in the Western Conference Final. It's round 2, Game 7. The Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers. The Stanley Cup playoffs are on the air, live from Rogers Arena in Vancouver.
You're listening to Vancouver Canucks Hockey on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Brendan Batchelor and Randeep Janda with you from the Jim Robson broadcast gondola high above the ice inside Rogers Arena as we continue to count you down to Game 7, Canucks and Oilers. And it's been a tremendous atmosphere thus far in the building tonight, Randeep, and we're looking forward to what should be an entertaining and tense 60 minutes, maybe even more, of hockey tonight.
It comes down to this. You play 6 games, you battle, you grind the entire time, and now there's going to be one winner. Whoever wins this game goes to the next round. You got to put everything out there. Of course, there's the potential of tomorrow, but you can't treat it that way. You have to leave everything on the ice, and hearing from both teams, they understand the stakes here. There's a lot of pressure on both teams, but I think they're both up to it. This is going to be a high-energy affair, and just gauging what's going on in this city. Kind of silence before, during the day as people are walking around with their jerseys on, but now starting to pick up the energy in this building, outside the building. Can't wait, Batch.
Absolutely. And the big story going into this game is the untimely absence of Brock Besser, dealing with a reported blood clot issue, will not be available to play tonight. And there are some reports out there that he is done for the season. So their leading goal scorer in the playoffs and the regular season, and the guy that's tied with JT Miller for the most postseason points on the team, not available tonight. How do they cover up for the loss of one of their top players?
Well, first of all, it's a big loss because you mentioned all the statistical aspects, of course, but just a great guy in the room as well. So you feel bad for him on a human level. And how can they use this to their advantage in the sense of rallying around Brock Besser is what you have to focus on. As a team, of course, it hurts you in your top 6, but this is a team that believes in next man up. What can you do? Not look at the excuses. What can you do? Add a little bit more. Maybe it's 10, 15% each, and get to that level where you need to win. So not having Brock, of course, hurts the lineup. He's a 40-goal scorer. He's got 7 goals in the playoffs, 3 goals in this series. but who's going to add that 10 to 20% more to make sure that they can win this game? That's the focus for this team.
Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by Avenue Machinery and Douglas Lake Equipment. Get your keys to the All-Star collection of Kubota products at one of their 6 locations around BC this spring. Visit DLEAMC.com for details. Now, and our first key to the game is the start. There's going to be a lot of emotion, a lot of energy in this building coming up in a few minutes, so you got to harness that energy, but channel it in the right way to begin the game.
You want to come out aggressive. You want to make sure that you're dictating the tone. And most importantly, you want to test Stuart Skinner early on in this game. In Game 6, the Canucks were not able to establish themselves in the opening few minutes, and it made it pretty easy for Stuart Skinner. Tonight, you want a different scenario. You want to be aggressive on the forecheck. You want to play fast through the neutral zone, and you'll want to test the Edmonton goaltender.
You also need to control your emotions. As I said, loud building, fans behind you. Winner take all Game 7. It's a big moment, and you have to make sure that you're ready for the moment.
There's going to be a lot of adrenaline in this building through that lineup. How do you control it? How do you channel it the right way? Make sure you're not stretching yourself thin on the ice. You're taking unnecessary chances and definitely not taking penalties. So it's a matter of playing a physical game, a fast game, but a controlled game. You got to control that rage, especially in the opening 10 minutes of this game.
The starting goaltenders tonight for the Canucks, it is Artur Shilovs. Once again, he's 3-3 in the series with a 3.47 goals against average and an .879 save percentage. At the other end of the ice, Stuart Skinner goes back in after making 14 saves and giving up 1 goal in the Oilers' Game 6 victory 2 nights ago. The starting lineups are presented by Angry Otter Liquor. Find your starting lineup of beer, wine, and whiskey favorites. The Oilers begin the game with Darnell Nurse and Vincent Desharnais on the blue line up front. It's their third line of Warren Fogle, Ryan McLeod, and Derek Ryan. And Rick Tocchet with the last change tonight counters with his top line and top pairing. It's Quinn Hughes and Philip Hronek on the back end. And the new look line with Besser out of the lineup, Elias Pettersson, JT Miller, and Ilya Mikheyev to begin the game.
And if you're the big stars, you know what you need to do. You need to create. If you're Ilya Mikheyev, you got to be playing with speed. You got to play aggressive, a smart two-way game, but you have to make sure you bring that battle level playing alongside JT Miller and Elias Pettersson.
And Mikheyev's back into the lineup after missing the last 2 games, as is Sam Lafferty. And both of those guys have something in common in their game. They're quick. They can skate. And they haven't played the last 2 games, so they should be fresh. The Canucks will need that speed on the wings tonight.
Well, we saw that in Game 5 when Phil DiGiuseppe came into the lineup, Vasily Podkolzin. They brought an energy to the game that the Canucks needed. Very much the same with Mikheyev and Lafferty. And what I like about the Lafferty line is they've got a bit of a Bash Brothers kind of feel to it when they're playing their game. Niels Höglander and Sam Lafferty together, they can be ferocious players on the forecheck, but they got to bring their A game.
As it will be Hughes Suter between Höglander and Lafferty. As mentioned, Pettersson, Miller, and Mikheyev on the same line. Joshua and Garland go back with Elias Lindholm, and the fourth line is DiGiuseppe, Bluger, and Ullman. We're moments away from Game 7. We'll have the opening face-off next on Alpine Credits Canucks Playoff Hockey on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a skilled trades worker, you might not be feeling that way right now. But in Alberta, skilled trades workers can earn more, save more, and live more with better wages and a lower cost of living. Visit albertaiscalling.ca to learn more about the $5,000 moving bonus for the first 2,000 skilled.
Hey Insiders, thanks for joining us for Game 7 of the Western Conference semifinals between the Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers. Which team will move on to face the Dallas Stars on Wednesday night? Only time will tell. Make sure you hit that like button down below. It's going to bring more Oilers and Canucks and hockey fans into the chat. And as well, share this stream out. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn that bell on so you see when we go live for every single game of the Western Conference and Eastern Conference Finals, the Stanley Cup Finals, and all Blue Jays season long. Thank you all for being here. We'll see you guys in the chat.
On out of a passion. In Langley and at turn3autosport.com.
Your feet, the silent workhorses of your body. They've danced you through life's highs, sprinted you through challenges, even stood firm on the green for that last putt. But even the strongest of supporters need support. That's where Kintec comes in. Not just with shoes, but with custom orthotics that ensure every step is aligned and comfortable. Visit kintec.net and discover how orthotics can transform your every step.
How many emails, text messages, notifications for calendar reminders of meetings you don't want to go to are all waiting for you to deal with right now? Well, your legendary escape from it all awaits. The number 5 orange is open right now. That's a meeting invite worth accepting. Pre-game, post-game, even during the game. The number 5 orange.
Introducing the Nibby Collection from Riobel. Bathroom faucets and trim inspired by the iconic form of coastal lighthouses. Experience luxury fixtures made for daily life, infused with a hint of the sea. Designed by Riobel and available at Splash's Bath and Kitchen. Choose from faucets designed for tubs, showers, or sinks in one of 4 stunning finishes. Learn more about the sea-inspired Nibby Collection from Riobel by visiting the experts at your local Splash's Bath and Kitchen showroom or online at splashes.com.
Hey, this is Brock Besser.
He scores with 1 second left in the period.
And you're on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back inside Rogers Arena. Brendan Batchelor and Randeep Janda with you. Moments away from the start of Game 7, the Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers in this all-Canadian second-round series. Canucks battled all season long. They swept the Oilers in the regular season series to earn the right to host this game. And this building is loud and ready. Let's listen in as the Canucks take to the ice for Game 7.
This is our moment to welcome your Vancouver Canucks.
It comes down to this. 1 game, 1 moment, 1 chance. For one team, it's a game that will define a season. A plucky group of underdogs that no one expected to be here. They have found a way by hook or by crook to stay alive and thrive in spite of injury, adversity, and everything that's been placed in their path. And they're not ready to lie down just yet. But will it be enough? For their opponents, it's a game that could define an era. A pair of superstars unable to reach the summit thus far in their careers. Now in their 9th season together, they've accomplished just about everything an individual can achieve in the game. But the trophy they want the most, the team's success they crave the most, has eluded them. Will they meet this moment, or will they let it slip through their fingers again? If the hair is standing on the back of your neck, if there are goosebumps on your arms, if you have that feeling in the pit of your stomach, it means you're alive. It means you're ready. It means everything. And tonight, for the players on the sheet of ice below us, they will need to give everything to avoid losing everything. It is time. It is here. It is now. It is Game 7.
Remove your hats and join Canadians from coast to coast and Elizabeth Irving in the singing of O Canada.
glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for
Elizabeth Irving in a sold-out Rogers Arena with the singing of the national anthem here tonight. And with that in the books, it's just about time to drop the puck on Game 7 between the Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers. The Canucks wearing the home blue uniforms with the white and green trim will skate from right to left in the first period. The Oilers in their road whites with blue and orange trim will go from left to right. The referees are Chris Rooney and Jean Hebert. Devin Berg and Johnny Murray are on the lines. Brad Watson is the series supervisor. Now, the opening face-off is brought to you by Northview Golf and Country Club, the official golf course of the Vancouver Canucks. Legendary golf at its finest. Book now at northviewgolf.com. And Randy, former Canuck Alex Edler here in the building, cranking the siren and firing up the crowd before Game 7.
Alex Edler is ready to go, and so is the crowd here, and so are the Vancouver Canucks. JT Miller versus Ryan McLeod in the opening face-off.
And it's down. Game 7's underway. McLeod wins it. Left wing for Nurse, who dumps it behind the Vancouver net. Hughes in the near corner. Chased down on the forecheck by Derek Ryan. Hronek in to find the puck, too. Vogel gets it behind the net. Tried to throw it out front. Pass was blocked by Mikheyev into the far corner. Mikheyev leaves behind his own net for Quinn Hughes. He'll flip it high in the air to center. JT Miller bats it down into the Oilers' zone. Lost it to Desharnais. Tried to clear. Mikheyev bats it deep behind the net. Nurse back to it. Mikheyev and Miller recover it on the forecheck. Miller, left corner. Got it up the wall to Pedersen. Scoops it back to Mikheyev below the goal line. He'll play it to the right wing side. Hronek charges in for the line. Drops it to Miller. He'll lift it off the glass and in deep, but it deflects out of play. 38 seconds into the first period of Game 7 between the Canucks and the Oilers, and the fans are trying to get to Stuart Skinner already.
Well, the hope is that the Vancouver Canucks can get to him as well with a couple of shots early on in this game. As you mentioned it, JT Miller, Elias Pettersson starting off the game. Now Lindholm Garland taking on the Draisaitl line here.
Face off of the Oilers zone. Elias Lindholm running at 51.1% in the face-off circle in the playoffs, and he wins this draw to Garland. Right point. Ian Cole shoots intentionally wide of the net. Bounce to the side of the goal. Lindholm was there. He gets it free to Garland with a one-timer from along the goal line on the left wing, and Skinner held it out. Now Evander Kane passes right wing to center for Cody Ceci to the Vancouver line. Floats it in on Shelovs, who grabs it with the glove and holds on 55 seconds into Game 7.
And we've seen that Ian Cole shot off the boards, trying to get it right to the front of the net numerous times. After Elias Lindholm wins the draw, Cole gets the puck at the point, and just a wrister intentionally shot wide with an angle towards the net, and Lindholm was tied up, couldn't get a stick on it, but a good early chance followed by another one by Connor Garland from the left-hand side, and Skinner just gets a piece of it.
Lindholm and Draisaitl on the draw in the Vancouver zone. Lindholm wins it to Zadorov, and he clears it high off the glass to center. Cody Ceci back to the puck near corner, goes behind the goal for Brett Kulak. Sweeps it up the boards for Holloway, who's knocked down by Ian Cole. It went all the way down, and Draisaitl's after it on the forecheck. Zadorov back to it first, protecting the puck. Chased down by Kane near corner to Draisaitl behind the net. Forced to the far corner by Elias Lindholm. Draisaitl on his backhand, feeds the line for Kulak. Dumps it behind the Canuck goal. Holloway's got it. Up the right wing side. Top of the circle, turns and shoots. Shelovs made the save. Rebound. What a stop by Shelovs. He robbed Brett Kulak on a grade A rebound opportunity for the left circle. He's ready for Game 7. A stupendous save from the young Latvian, and it's still scoreless. Canucks get it out of the zone. Teddy Bluger left wing to center. Banks it to the Oiler line, and he'll chase down Evan Bouchard on the forecheck and hit him hard into the corner boards. Bouchard banks it to center for Hyman, forced back into his own end by Soucy. Oman touches the puck, and the Canucks are called offside. The faceoff will come out.
What a save by Artur Shelovs early on in this game as Dylan Holloway gets room to operate on the right-hand side. A shot from the perimeter for that rebound. Now, there is a juicy rebound out there, but Artur Shelovs moving from left to right makes the save with his blocker on Brett Kulak. Excellent save by the young Latvian goaltender.
Oilers out shooting the Canucks 3-0 through the first minute and 52 seconds of the hockey game. And Oman wins the draw to Di Giuseppe left wing. He'll dump it behind the Oiler net. And Ekholm's back to the puck. Chased down by Oman on the forecheck. Banks it to center. It comes to Myers at his own line. He'll go D-to-D near boards for Carson Soucy. Can't settle a rolling puck. Is able to scoop it out to center for Niels Oman. Then back to Myers, and the Canucks will break out. Myers to Oman. Tips it wide of the net of Skinner. Ekholm behind his own net. Canucks will begin a change. Matthias Ekholm. Left wing for Nugent Hopkins. Middle of the ice. Into the Vancouver zone. High slot. Shoots, and Shelov's turned it wide of the net. Hyman's got it in the left wing corner. Zach Hyman battling with Hronek on the end boards. McDavid gets it free left wing side on his backhand. McDavid to the right point for Bouchard. Couldn't handle the pass, and it rolls back out to center. Ekholm fires it ahead quickly for Nugent Hopkins. He'll delay back at his own blue line and drop it to Evan Bouchard so the Oilers can change. Bouchard taking his time as it's the Suter, Höglander, Lafferty line out against the fourth line of the Oilers, and they dump it into the Vancouver zone. Connor Brown, right corner. Pushed to the boards by Soucy, knocked him down, but Carrick gets the puck. Around to the left point for Darnell Nurse. Dumps it wide of the net. Myers controls on the end boards, plays it into space, far side. Suter can't clear, comes to Janmark. He tried a shot for the slot, but Soucy tied him up, and the puck is out in neutral ice again. Janmark gives it away to Lafferty near side. Rink wide far boards for Höglander. Dumped it past Nurse. Skates to the Oiler line and dumps it in. Canucks will change.
And that's a responsible play by Niels Höglander. He did have a bit of an angle on that, but he was about a minute into his shift. Plays them smart play there, the safe play.
Darnell Nurse at center. Banks it right wing to the Canuck line. It's chipped in deep by Derek Ryan, and Ian Cole's back to the puck. Cole threw it up the near boards. Ryan knocks it down. Mikheyev back to it in the corner. Gets it to Ian Cole behind his own goal. Far boards for Zadorov, trying to pass ahead, deflects off the stick of Ryan McLeod, and out of play. 3 minutes and 40 seconds gone in the first period of Game 7. No score between the Canucks and Oilers.
And Batch, it'll be really interesting to watch Connor McDavid's deployment here in the first period. The first shift he was out there for really quite a long time, 55 seconds, but it was against the bottom six of Vancouver. That's the matchup that Knobloch is looking for, considering he did not start McDavid against JT Miller. So they're going to try to see if they can find that matchup often.
It's the Lindholm line against the Draisaitl line now for the face-off in the Vancouver zone. To the right of Shelovs in the Canuck crease. And Lindholm wins it. Far boards for Garland. Has to settle a rolling puck. Passes back in front of his own net for Ian Cole, who lifts it to center for Lindholm. Tips it to Joshua into the Oilers zone. Right way for Garland. Top of the circle. Shoots. He missed the net. Past the stick side of Skinner. Lindholm funnels it back below the goal line. Garland's got it left corner, trying to cut in front. Attempted a shot. It hit a skate on its way to the goal, and Holloway plays it right wing to center out of the reach of Draisaitl. Ian Cole's back to it in his own zone. Takes it behind his own net. Is hit hard by Evander Kane. Cleared it around the far side. Mikheyev tips it free. And here come the Canucks to center. Lindholm, left wing for Zadorov, into the Oilers zone. Back for Lindholm, driving the slot. Puck was out of his reach. And Draisaitl plays it to Kane, who will lift it to center for Cody Ceci. He gains the red line and dumps it into the Vancouver end. Shelov's out of the goal. Goes far wall for JT Miller. As Rick Tocchet now has the Miller line out against the McDavid line. And here's Pettersson with a burst of speed. Into the Oilers zone. Drop right wing for Miller. Had to throw on the brakes to settle the puck. Carries it into the corner. Behind the net for Mikheyev. In front, Pettersson missed a pass at the slot. And Hughes holds into the point. Dumps it behind the net. Pettersson after it again. Lays a reverse hit on Ekholm. Took him to the ice. And Miller gets it free right circle. Takes a shot. Stopped by Skinner. Rebound in front. Pettersson was knocked down by Bouchard and couldn't jam it on target. Now here's Hyman with speed. Right wing to the Vancouver line. Hronek trying to catch up. Hyman to the net. Gets a shot. Stopped by Shelovs. Rebound to the slot to Bouchard. Throws it right on net. And Shelovs makes the save and holds on for the whistle. 4:58 into the first period of Game 7. No score between Vancouver and Edmonton.
End-to-end action on that last shift. First of all, a great opportunity early on as Connor Garland coming down the right-hand side and zips it just by the post of Stuart Skinner. This one was close and just missed the blocker side. After that, Elias Pettersson had the puck just roll off his stick. Got it to a little late, but it was an excellent opportunity. Coming back the other way, Zach Hyman with a good chance for the Edmonton Oilers.
It's fourth line against fourth line for the face-off of the Vancouver zone. Bluger and Carrick to contest the draw. Caught up in skates. Bluger wins it back to Shelovs. He'll leave behind the net for Carson Soucy. And he passes near corner for Tyler Myers. Myers sends it to the Oiler line. Oman tipped it in deep, but it deflects over the glass and out of play.
Canucks have had 3 good looks in net, and the Elias Lindholm, Dakota Joshua, Connor Garland line has had 3 of the 4, I would say, early on in this game. So even though they only have 1 shot on goal, that Garland line has had 3 really good opportunities in and around the blue paint. If that line is going to score tonight, it's going to be right above that blue paint where Garland is not afraid to go. Neither is Lindholm, nor is Joshua.
Face-off won by Carrick at his own line for the Oilers. Back to Darnell Nurse. Near side for Vincent Desharnais. Banks it to center. Sam Carrick gave it away to Hronek. Throws it ahead for Lafferty. He missed the pass, but Suter follows up and dumps it into the Oiler end. Desharnais below the goal line after the puck. Hit into the end boards by Lafferty. Höglander after Nurse in the corner. Battling for the puck. Lafferty joins in, and Höglander gets it free. Winding of the boards. Niels Höglander. Near point for Quinn Hughes. Across to the right side for Hronek. Takes a shot. It was blocked off his skate. Out to center. It looked like it was going to go out to center. McDavid blew the zone, but the puck stayed behind. And now Janmark passes to Connor Brown. Couldn't receive it. Hronek goes left wing to center for Quinn Hughes, and he'll dump it back into the Oiler end. Nurse, far corner. Leaves behind his own goal for Desharnais on the near side. Chased down by Pettersson. Gave it away to Miller at the blue line. Sends it to Mikheyev. In alone on goal to the backhand. And Skinner stopped him. That might have hit the outside of the net. What a chance for Ilya Mikheyev. He gets it again. Right circle. Shoots. It's blocked by Nurse. Mikheyev's got it again. Spinning away from McDavid on the end boards. Protecting the puck. Around the left wing side. Threw it back up the glass, but it deflects into the netting. And out of play. What an opportunity for Ilya Mikheyev to open the scoring. 6:16 gone in the first period of Game 7. No score. The Canucks and the Oilers on Alpine Credits. Canucks Playoff Hockey streaming on the Sportsnet app and along the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Carter Honda is on the bandwagon.
Insiders, what is going on? Thank you all for being here. Look at this. 2 new members in the last few minutes. KQ, I see you. Everybody out there in the chat, thank you for being here. And just had to put up this picture here. Big shout out to Dan at the game tonight. Boots on the ground in Vancouver at the arena. Beautiful seats. Beautiful, beautiful seats, Dan. Thank you for sending this in so that we can all see that somebody that knows TSI is at the game. So to the 3,000 of you that are watching, please hit that like button. Let's bring more people into the chat. And that sub counter's going crazy. We're already at 100 over when we started. So thank you all for hitting that subscribe button if you're new. All of the subscribers, the 2,569 of you, thank you. Thank you so much, and big shout out to Dan. Enjoy the game, brother, and keep the pictures coming. Talk to you soon. Peace.
Big playoff run. So for every big moment, make sure you're celebrating in a big way with Big West Coast IPA from the Rewind Beer Co. Because big celebrations deserve big, bold West Coast beers. Ask for it today at your local liquor store or visit the Rewind Tasting Room along BC's famed Brewers Row in Port Moody.
Hey, this is Brock Besser, and you're on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650.
You're listening to Alpine Credits, Canucks Playoff Hockey on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network. Own your home. Alpine Credits can get your loan approved. Alpine Credits homeowners get approved. Visit alpinecredits.ca. 6:16 into the first period of Game 7, a scoreless game between the Canucks and the Oilers. And Vancouver's got a face-off in the Edmonton end to our left in the near circle. Draisaitl wins it from Lindholm. Back to the end boards for Evan Bouchard. As Garland and Ekholm get tangled up away from the play, Bouchard passes to center for Draisaitl. Winding to the Vancouver line on left wing. Leaves far circle of Evander Kane. Shoots through traffic. Stop by Shelov's rebound. Bounced off the end boards to Bouchard, top of the left circle. He'll carry back to the line. Far boards Ekholm. Threw it to the goal, tip by Kane, but couldn't get it on target. And Dakota Joshua scoops it to the line. Initially held in, but Joshua gets it back. Passes right wing to center for Garland. Into the Oilers zone. Top of the circle. Takes a shot. It was deflected, and Skinner stops it with the glove.
And some bit of a scrum developing in front of Stuart Skinner as Dakota Joshua getting in his grill right after that save. But that's exactly what you want. You want Leon Draisaitl in his defensive zone when you're going head-to-head against Lindholm. And a fantastic opportunity before the break, and it looked like Skinner had made the save on Mikheyev, but he actually flat-out missed that. The puck rolled off his stick, so a great opportunity for Mikheyev. Looking sharp early on. That entire line is playing quite fast.
Mikheyev with just 1 goal in his last 60 games, but had a couple of good opportunities on that last shift. Oilers win a face-off in their own end. CC near corner. Banks it to center for Derek Ryan. Tips it to Warren Fogle. Gets it deep into the Vancouver end. Quinn Hughes behind his own goal. Pushed to the end boards by Ryan McLeod. Got it free. Far circle. Shot right on. Stopped by Shelov's off the stick of Derek Ryan. 7:01 gone first period. No score. The Canucks and the Oilers in Game 7.
And that is the 7th save so far for Archer Shelov's. And this one develops as Ryan McLeod's just aggressive on the forecheck. Takes the puck off of Quinn Hughes and then sets up Derek Ryan, who's on the left faceoff circle, but that comes from an aggressive forecheck by Edmonton. And Ryan McLeod's a very fast skater as well. He can catch up to Quinn Hughes.
Miller line against the McDavid line for the defensive zone faceoff. Miller wins it to Carson Soucy, who takes it behind the goal, passes near boards for Pettersson, mishandled the puck, but cleared it past Bouchard out of the zone anyway. Mikheyev to center for Pettersson, winding to the Oiler line, try to feed for Myers joining the rush. Couldn't get it through to him, and Nugent Hopkins tried to dump it back into the Vancouver zone, but it hit the curved glass at the end of the Canuck bench, and the faceoff will stay in neutral ice.
And you mentioned the goalless drought for one Ilya Mikheyev, and sure, 1 goal in 60-plus games. His last goal was on March 13th against the Colorado Avalanche, but right there on that play, when Tyler Myers jumps up into the rush, who's the guy back covering? It's Ilya Mikheyev. In a game like this where you have to be responsible defensively, Mikheyev is a great two-way player.
McDavid wins the faceoff at center ice, back to Ekholm at his own line. Near boards for Evan Bouchard, played it to the red line. Zach Hyman tips it in deep, and Tyler Myers has it behind his own net. Pressured by McDavid on the forecheck. Myers funnels it up the boards. Miller into support, protecting it from Hyman. Nugent Hopkins hounding the puck too, but Mikheyev gets it free and passes left wing for Pettersson. Pettersson to the red line, dumps it cross ice into the right corner. Canucks will complete a change, as will the Oilers, with Ekholm going back to it behind his own net. The two fourth lines on the ice opposing each other. Desharnais passes left wing for Janmark, tipped it deep into the Vancouver zone. Bluger back to it behind the net, throws it around the near wall, but this is going to roll all the way down and be ruled icing against the Canucks. Get your tickets for the Canucks online 50-50 draw. Go to Canucks.com/50-50 to enter. Ticket sales close at the end of the second intermission. Must be 19 plus and located in BC at the time of purchase to play. Know your limit. Play within it.
There's a lot of talk about who are the big game players for Edmonton. Matthias Janmark has scored in 3 Game 7s, and for Vancouver, Tyler Myers twice in his career.
Oilers win the faceoff. Nurse with a shot left wing. Stopped by Shilovs, and he falls on the rebound to get a whistle. Janmark actually the proud owner of a Game 7 hat-trick that he scored for the Vegas Golden Knights against the Minnesota Wild a few years back.
That's right, and he's a guy, and this is the beauty of a Game 7, where there's players that are in that bottom 6 that generally you don't really think about. But in games like this is where players become cult heroes. Games like this in Game 7, where fan bases remember them for 30, 40 years down the line.
Lindholm wins the draw from Draisaitl in the Vancouver zone. Behind the net for Zadorov. Scoops it around to the near wall for Dakota Joshua. Joshua winding his way left wing to center. Clears it deep into the Oilers zone, and Garland goes after Nurse on the forecheck left corner. Nurse pinning Garland to the boards. Lindholm in to help out. Heavy board battle. Draisaitl below his own goal line gets the puck, and he'll lead the rush back to center. Leon Draisaitl makes a move around Joshua. Passes left wing to Kane into the Vancouver zone. Now right circle. Holloway tried a shot. Zadorov blocked it from close range off his skate, and Lindholm's got it on the near boards. Banks it to center for Joshua. He gains the red line, dumps it in. And the Canucks will change as Joshua has the glove slashed off his hand by Evander Kane. And the play is allowed to continue. And Darnell Nurse has it behind his own goal. Nurse passes near side for Derek Ryan, floats it to center for Warren Fogle. Right wing to the Vancouver zone, try to shot it, hit Ryan McLeod in the back, rolls below the goal line. Hronek cleared it up the near boards, comes to Ryan. He'll sweep it around left point for Kulak. Funnels it back in behind the Vancouver net. Ryan drops to McLeod. Forced to the left corner by Hughes. Spins it back around the zone. Mikheyev lays a bump into Desharnais on the wall. But the Oiler defenseman gets it down low. Hronek plays it free to the near point, held in by Fogle covering. Tried to cycle it to the corner. Hronek breaks it up. He's got the puck himself and lifts it on the back end of the line, but Fogle held in. And now play is whistled and a hand pass. The McLeod is knocked down by Höglander just as the whistle sounded. And this is a big scrum with lots of intensity to it. Hronek and Fogle going back and forth at each other, throwing gloved punches. Höglander and McLeod into it. Desharnais in the midst of things too, and you can tell the bad blood from the rest of this series has certainly carried over to its 7th and final game.
It's not going to take much for emotions to boil over in this one. There's a lot of intensity to begin with, but I don't mind that play from Nils Höglander. He's essentially finishing his check very softly, and sure, Ryan McLeod was off balance, but I like to see that jerk factor from one Nils Höglander. That's when he's at his best, where he just gives a little bit of a shove. Nothing too crazy, but Ryan McLeod goes down like a ton of bricks, and that creates a scrum.
Almost to the midway mark, first period. No score in Game 7. Oilers are out shooting the Canucks 9-1. But Artur Shilov's has been solid thus far, including a tremendous early save on a grade A chance for Brett Kulak. Miller and McDavid to take the draw of the Vancouver blue line. And Miller wins it cleanly back to Carson Soucy. Soucy in his own end. Banks it near side for Pettersson. Left wing at center. Clears it into the Oilers zone. Skinner out of the net. Leaves for Ekholm. Matthias Ekholm spins away from Mikheyev behind the goal. Now for Bouchard. Left wing to Nugent Hopkins. Into the Vancouver zone. Centers for McDavid. Tips it back to Nugent Hopkins. Dumped it to the right corner. Soucy clears it away from Hyman for Miller on the near side. He holds on to the puck. Banks it right wing to center for Pettersson, who's able to poke it past Ekholm in deep. And the Canucks will change. Now here's McDavid picking up speed from behind his own net. Accelerating to center on right wing. Into the Vancouver zone. Gets a shot, and Shilov stopped him with a glove and held on. 10 minutes left, first period, no score in Game 7. The Canucks and the Oilers from downtown Vancouver.
And one of the few times in this series that Connor McDavid is able to gather speed behind his net, storms through the neutral zone, and a good job by the Canucks to keep him on the outside. Quinn Hughes not giving him a lane to cut to the middle, and an easy save for Artur Shilov.
Carrick and Bluger on the face-off to the left of Shilov's in the Vancouver zone.
McDavid hit 37.6 kilometers per hour on that skate.
It's a ticket in a school zone. And now Bluger thrown out of the draw, so Oman will step in and take it, but Carrick wins it to Ceci. Left point, Brett Kulak. Tries a shot through traffic. It missed past the glove side of Shilov's, and Ceci pinches down the right wing wall to hold in. Cody Ceci, centering pass into the slot, eludes everybody and rolls all the way back into the Edmonton end. Brett Kulak, far corner. Pressured by Di Giuseppe on the forecheck. Threw it out to center. It's found by Matthias Janmark, and he dumps it into the Vancouver end. Hughes behind his own goal. Cleared it near point. Ceci holds in. Stripped of the puck by Bluger. Got it to the line, but Kulak keeps it alive. Playing it far boards. Niels Oman beats Janmark to the puck and gets it back into the Oiler end. Canucks will change. Ceci at center. Dumps it deep into the Canuck end. Ian Cole back to it. Protects it from Dylan Holloway near corner. Makes a nice pass to Dakota Joshua. It was in his skates, but he's able to bank it past Draisaitl and out to center. Desharnais back to Nurse. Far boards in his own zone. Flips it to center. Joshua leaves for Ian Cole. Now to Garland, left wing. Into the Edmonton zone. Knocked down by Desharnais into the boards, but Lindholm's got it left corner. Sent it in front. Joshua couldn't find it in the slot, and now Draisaitl's back to center with speed. Chance for a 3-on-2 for the Oilers. Draisaitl, left wing, delays, shoots. Shilov's made the save off his pad, and Holloway's got it far boards. Cycles behind the Vancouver net. Ian Cole breaks it up for Dakota Joshua far wall. He drops it to Elias Lindholm, who winds his way to center and fires it in on Stuart Skinner, who makes the save, and here's a Bronx cheer from the fans at Rogers Arena. Desharnais, far corner for Darnell Nurse. Niels Höglander after it on the forecheck. Nurse flips it to center. Hyman missed it. Soucy tips it back into the Edmonton zone. Now Desharnais in the near corner. Passes to center. Nugent Hopkins missed it. Miller got it free, but it was behind Niels Höglander. And Bouchard winds right wing for McDavid. Into the Vancouver zone near circle. Rink-wide pass left side. Hyman shoots. Shilov stopped it, and it rolls to the corner. Now Nugent Hopkins left boards to the line for Matthias Ekholm. Challenged by Höglander, rims it behind the net. Myers breaks up the cycle, plays it up the far wall. Höglander protects the puck well from Ekholm. Passes across the zone for Soucy. Now to center for Sam Lafferty. Left wing to the red line, dumps it in. Canucks will complete a change as the Oilers take time on their breakout. 7:50 left first period, no score in Game 7, Vancouver and Edmonton. Ryan McLeod. There's a rink-wide pass left wing for Bouchard. Got around Pettersson into the Vancouver zone. Evan Bouchard threw a backhand pass to the slot. Spilled by Shilov's. Rebound chopped over the goal by Derek Ryan. Canucks dodge a bullet there, and now Pettersson's got it left wing. Passes to center. It deflects away from Suter into the Oilers zone as we see Rick Tocchet blending his lines early here already. As he's flipped, or did flip, Miller and Suter on that last sequence. Now Pettersson lays a huge hit on Bouchard deep in the Oilers zone, but here's McLeod. Left wing to the Vancouver line. Tight angle shot from wide of the boards, held up by Shilov's. Thrown back into the crease by Fogle from the near corner. And Shilov's covers up. 7:14 left in the first period. No score in Game 7. The Canucks and the Oilers on Alpine Credits Canucks Playoff Hockey on Sportsnet 650 on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The 2024 Outlander PHEV is now in stock. The world's best-selling plug-in hybrid vehicle is now more efficient, more powerful, and more sophisticated than ever, with rates starting from 4.49% plus the industry's best warranty. Elevate your everyday. Make new tracks at Applewood Mitsubishi in the Richmond Auto Mall or at applewoodmitsubishi.ca.
The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a skilled trades worker, you might not be feeling that way right now. But in Alberta, skilled trades workers can earn more, save more, and live more with better wages and a lower cost of living. Visit albertaiscalling.ca to learn more about the $5,000 moving bonus for the first 2,000 skilled trades workers who move to Alberta, stay for a year, and successfully apply. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Angry Otter Liquor, you're at home here.
It's playoff time across BC, and Angry Otter Liquor is thrilled to rally with hockey fans on the road to the Cup. Score big at Angry Otter Liquor, your ultimate hockey headquarters. Ice-cold game day beer, spirits for every level of team spirit, and snacks to fuel your victory celebrations. Explore game day essentials with Angry Otter Liquor and celebrate every win with the perfect drink. You don't have to be a member, but it pays to be one. Learn more at angryotterliquor.crs.
Hey, this is Ian Cole, and you're on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650.
Have you welcomed a little Sonic into your life? Sonic 104.9 is Vancouver's new alternative radio station, and they have tickets to every Canucks home playoff game that you could win. Listen weekday mornings for the details on Sonic 104.9. Brendan Batchelor alongside Randeep Janda, 7:14 left in the first period of Game 7. No score between the Canucks and the Oilers, and there's a face-off in the Vancouver end to our right in the near circle. It'll be Miller and Draisaitl to take the draw. And Miller wins it. Back to the near corner for Ian Cole. Leaves far corner for Ilya Mikheyev, who passes left wing to center for Nikita Zadorov. Zadorov gains the red line, dumps it in. Miller's after Kulak on the forecheck. Got it free to Kane. He was stood up by Mikheyev, but Draisaitl plays it free. Right wing for Cody Ceci. Ceci to the Vancouver line. Near circle, Holloway. Forced for the boards by Zadorov. Tried a centering pass that rolls to Miller in the slot, and he'll scoop it ahead for Mikheyev. Fans wanted a penalty as Ian Cole was knocked down off the puck. The officials have kept their whistles in their pockets thus far in Game 7, and Miller clears it to the Oiler line after being stood up by Holloway. Red Kulak in his own zone for the Oilers. Pressured by Lindholm, scoops it up the wall. Cody Ceci gets it, banks it to center. It rolls all the way down, but Connor Brown's in quickly on the forecheck, and Shilov's had to cover it side of the net. Then Soucy clears him out from the front of the goal. Sam Carrick's in the crease. Tyler Myers puts him in a headlock, and the linesman will come in and diffuse the situation while Dakota Joshua gives Matthias Janmark a gloved punch away from all that.
And Connor Brown goes to have a word with Dakota Joshua, but I'll tell you one thing. Carson Soucy is playing with a mean streak away from the puck, whether it's a slash or a cross-check or a punch in this case. He's let it being known that nobody can get near Artur Shilovs, and outside of that Kulak chance, all the shots have been from the perimeter. So even though Edmonton has 12 shots on goal, really one is in the home plate area.
And it was the good chance for Kulak, but Shilovs held out a remarkable early save. Connor Brown and Elias Lindholm on the draw. Near circle in the Vancouver zone to our right. Brown wins it to Janmark. Back to the line for Desharnais. Dumps it below the goal line. Myers protecting it from Carrick down low. Chips it up the near side. Lindholm gets it to Joshua. And he'll flip it left wing to center. Garland forechecking into the Oilers zone. Chases Nurse behind the goal. Hot on his heels. Nurse threw the puck up the wall. And now here's Connor Brown out to center with a burst of speed. Brown right wing across the Vancouver line. Wide of the board. Centering pass. Carrick couldn't get to it. It rolled to the far corner. Janmark dumps it behind the net for Carrick. Tried to pass near corner for Brown. Broken up by Hughes. He gets it to Hronek far side. And he'll pound it out to center on right wing for Dakota Joshua. He was tied up by Nurse, and now here's Janmark with speed. Back into the left wing around Hronek. Forced behind the goal. Tried to wrap around. It's loose at the crease. And there was a grade A chance for Carrick, who swung and missed on a one-time chance. Neil Zoma carries right wing to the Oiler line. Dumps it into the corner. Bluger's after it on the forecheck. Battling with Bouchard. Ekholm poked it free near side for Hyman. Hit into the boards by Di Giuseppe. Ekholm's got to take it behind his own net. Watched by Teddy Bluger with the Oilers' top line on the ice, and McDavid will pick it up behind his own net. He leaves for Ekholm. Near side Bouchard. Right wing to center for McDavid. Tip the puck deep into the Canucks zone and skates onto it right corner. He rims it around to Nugent Hopkins on the left wing. Cycles it back behind the net. Hyman knocks it down below the goal line. Into the far corner, watched by Hughes. Hyman turns on the wall, back behind the net for McDavid. Working the cycle. McDavid tried to pass near side, hit Hyman in the skate. He'll take it to the corner. Pushed into the wall by DiGiuseppe. Here's Hyman cutting into the high slot, tried to turn and shoot, but didn't get all of it, and DiGiuseppe will skate it out to center himself, gain the red line, and dump it in so the Canucks can change.
And that's a composed play by DiGiuseppe. Skates into the three ice, not rushing the play, not flipping it out, and getting to the center line and making sure that his team can change.
Make sure to stay tuned for Canucks Central at the intermission with Satyar Shah, Bick Nazar, and Brett Festerling coming up right at the end of the period. As Elias Pettersson skates right wing to center with speed. So the Oiler line dumps it past Kulak behind the net. Mikheyev goes after Ceci on the forecheck. Got it free to Pettersson. Right circle Miller on the half wall. Feeds to the line for Ian Cole. He'll dump it back behind the net. Mikheyev's got it on the inboards, left corner. Ilya Mikheyev lining up the wall. Drop to Pettersson. Now to Miller. Again to Pettersson to the hash marks. Nice feed to the line for Zadorov. Chips it back behind the goal. Mikheyev on his backhand brings it to the bottom of the left circle, being watched by Ceci. Mikheyev keeps the puck. Cycles it back behind the net. Kulak broke it up and then gave it away to Miller, right corner. Now to the line. Ian Cole, long shot, tipped in front. Never got through on net. Pettersson throws it back into the slot. Miller's got it right circle. He'll control the puck. Back to Cole at the line. Shoots intentionally wide to the net. Pettersson recovers it left corner. Goes down below the goal line to Miller, protecting the puck from McLeod, who knocked him down. Pettersson in to help out. Takes a high stick from McLeod. That's going to be an Oiler penalty. And the Canucks will have the first power play of the evening when we return. 3:46 left in the first period. No score between Vancouver and Edmonton in Game 7 on Alpine Credits Canucks Playoff Hockey, streaming on the Sportsnet app and along the Sportsnet Radio Network.
You have a vision for your new project. Now you need to figure out the rest. That's where Tiletown comes in. Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, Tiletown has everything you need for your tiling project. Great quality in-stock tile, free design and consultation, do-it-yourself supplies, and their Schluter certified staff have the knowledge to help you with your project. Make that vision a reality at Tiletown in Victoria, Richmond, Langley, and online at mytiletown.ca.
The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a skilled trades worker, you might not be feeling that way right now. But in Alberta, skilled trades...
Hey, Insiders! Hey, you! Yeah, you! I'm talking to you, the one that hasn't subscribed yet. I know, there's like 70% of you guys that watch these games, listen to these games, and don't hit that subscribe button. Come on, it's free. Hit that subscribe button and let's help this community grow and continue to get bigger and better and bring more sports content every single day. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get this party back in action. Back to the hockey.
Boat gear. Big or small, you'll receive the respect and support you deserve. Visit one of Avenue Machinery and Douglas Lake Equipment's 6 BC locations or explore DLEAMC.com.
This is Alpine Credits Canucks Playoff Hockey.
Down the right wing, he shoots and scores!
On the official home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
3:46 left in the first period of Game 7. No score between the Canucks and the Oilers. Brendan Batchelor and Randeep Janda with you. And initially, the penalty that was called was a double minor against Ryan McLeod for high sticking. The officials have reviewed it, and we're going to hear a decision here momentarily from referee Jean Hébert. So a big opportunity for a Canucks power play that sputtered in Game 6. And it's Filip Hronek who's been elevated to the top unit in place of Brock Besser. Face off of the Oilers zone to our left, far circle. Lindholm loses it to Derek Ryan. Got it down low to Ekholm. Clears it around the glass and all the way down the ice.
4 minutes for high sticking.
Shilov's out of the goal. Leaves for Quinn Hughes. Quick pass left wing to center for Hronek. Goes back into his own end for Pettersson, trailing the play. Here's Pettersson, right wing for Lindholm to the Oiler line. Dumps it behind the net. Skinner's out of the goal to handle. Cleared it around the far boards. Ryan drops it to Ekholm, and the Oilers get another quick clear.
And the key to having Filip Hronek on that left-hand side is, of course, he can make the pass into the slot, but he's got a hammer of a shot when he gets it through.
So a hard right-handed shooter, much like Brock Besser. As Pettersson makes a nice pass right wing for Miller, Canucks gain the Oiler line. Miller drops it to the point for Hughes. Back to Miller, right corner. Pressured by Nurse. Knocked the puck off his stick behind the net. Lindholm's after it on the forecheck. Nurse gets it free and again clears it all the way down.
And the Canucks will have to be stronger on the puck as Edmonton has been winning battles the last 2 games, not allowing the Vancouver Canucks to score in the power play, actually dating back to 3 games now.
Miller from his own line with speed drops to Connor Garland. He'll skate left wing into the Oilers zone, drops to Hronek on the board, centers for Hughes. He'll rim it behind the net. Garland battling with Ekholm down low, lost the puck, but Miller's got it left corner. Feeds the line for Hughes at the near point. Hughes down the wall for JT Miller, left wing half boards, back to Hughes, top of the point, passes near circle for Hronek. Settles it on the wall. Pressure to the boards by Nugent-Hopkins. Dumps it to Miller. Tried to rim it around to Garland far side, but is broken up and cleared by Mattias Ekholm again. 2:15 left in the first period. More than that left in the Canuck power play. They'll carry a little bit of time over into the second period if they can't score. Soucy leaves at his own line for Connor Garland. Now for Pius Suter, left wing to center. Back to Garland, again to Suter. Into the Oilers zone, dumps it down the near boards. Joshua's after it on the forecheck. Battling with Ceci left corner. Suter in there too. 3 Oilers in the battle, so Garland will come across to join them. But Connor Brown gets it free, and the Oilers clear it down yet again.
3 Canucks in that battle, 3 Edmonton Oilers, and the Oilers yet again win the board battles on the PK.
Very aggressive for Edmonton to have 3 of the 4 penalty killers in the same board battle. Soucy to center, drops to Pettersson. Winding his way to the Oiler line on right wing, mishandled the puck, leaves for Hughes off the bench. Here's Hughes, near board Zadorov. Into the Edmonton zone, centering feed, tipped by Lindholm. Free to Miller at the right wing point. Miller down the far boards on his back end. Goes back to the line for Quinn Hughes. Now to Miller in the right wing corner. Try to pass through the slot, comes to Hronek. Left circle, he threw it to the goal, but it's blocked by Desharnais and deflects out of play. With 1:16 remaining in the first period, 90 seconds left in the Vancouver power play. No score between the Canucks and the Oilers in Game 7.
The Canucks having real difficulty setting up. That opportunity that falls to Hronek right there is actually from a broken play. Something the Canucks need more of on their power play, as when they try to force it through the middle of the ice, it's just the Oilers are loading up that middle and not allowing anything to go through.
Pettersson and Ryan on the draw near circle. Ryan wins it back to Desharnais, and the Oilers get another clearance. Canucks have not had a shot on this power play yet. They've only got 2 pucks on Stuart Skinner in this first period, as opposed to 12 shots for the Oilers. Now here's Lindholm to the Edmonton line, lost the puck. Ceci flips it back to center, and Pettersson's got it near boards. He'll drop it to Quinn Hughes, center ice circle. Left wing, into the Oiler and carrying down the boards. Hughes, knocked down by Ceci on the wall. It's cleared to the point, not out. Hronek holds in. Passes high slot for Lindholm. It was in his skates. It's a shorthanded breakaway the other way. Connor Brown, in alone, on Shelovs. Great save by the Canuck goaltender, and he clears the rebound near corner. Pettersson back to center with 35 seconds left in the period. Canucks have numbers. Pettersson, left wing for Miller into the Oilers zone. Threw it down the boards. Pettersson's forced to the corner by Nurse. Lindholm in to help out, is tied up by Ceci. Now it comes down low to Miller. Feeds the line for Hughes. Just over 20 seconds left in the period. Right circle, Garland tried a shot blocked by Nurse. Comes to Miller behind the net. Couldn't corral a rolling puck. Then Nurse gets it up the far wall, past Garland and into the Vancouver end. A dozen seconds left in this first period. Soucy behind his own goal. Will leave for Garland. 7 seconds left. Garland driving to the red line. Into the Oilers zone. Dumps it right boards. Tried to throw it to the goal. It was blocked by Foegele, and that'll do it for the first period, as the Oilers heavily outshoot the Canucks 13-2 in the opening period, including a grade A chance early from Brett Kulak and another one late on a shorthanded breakaway from Connor Brown. But it's scoreless after 20 minutes in Game 7 tonight at Rogers Arena.
Well, one thing is for sure, Artur Shelovs is on his game through 20 minutes. A couple of great saves that you mentioned. The Canucks are going to have to do a better job of attacking the offensive zone. They're going to have to get some more time of possession. And on top of that, test Stuart Skinner, only 2 shots on goal in that period. You want to win this game, you're going to have to put him in uncomfortable situations, and they really haven't tested Skinner at all. So they're going to have to improve to get to the middle of the ice. They haven't been able to do that thus far.
Canucks will have 14 seconds left on the power play to begin the second period. But it's time now for Canucks Central at the intermission with Satyar Shah, Bick Nazar, and Brett Festerling.
This is Canucks Central at the intermission on the official home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
It's cleared to the point, not out. Hronek holds in. Passes high slot for Lindholm. It was in his skates. It's a shorthanded breakaway the other way. Connor Brown, in alone, on Shelovs. Great save by the Canuck goaltender, and he clears the rebound near corner.
Canucks and Oilers scoreless through the first 20 minutes, and this is Canucks Central at the intermission on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network. Satyar Shah, Bick Nazar, and Brett Festerling. Get your thoughts in to our Dunbar Lumber text inbox, 650-650. The Canucks with a massive opportunity late in the period. a double minor penalty to Ryan McLeod, who high sticks Elias Pettersson, draws blood. A 4-minute power play with just over 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in the period. Great opportunity for the Canucks to take charge. And the Canucks didn't really generate much 5-on-5, and they did even less on the man advantage. Edmonton actually got a shot on goal before Vancouver did. Took them 2.5 minutes to even get a shot attempt, and the best chance went to the Oilers. Connor Brown with a clear-cut breakaway. Shilov's another stellar start, and if it wasn't for Shilov's 13-2 of the shots, could be a different outcome after that first period.
Yeah, he's been sharp, right? A young player. Here he is in this spot. He's passed every test as the playoffs have carried on, and this is a massive one. He makes a great rebound reaction save early, and then the big one there shorthanded. But certainly the biggest issue is power play entries, which has been a prevailing issue throughout the course of this series, and just overall shot generation, Brett.
Yeah, Shilovs came to play. That's your positive. He came to play, and you're still at a 0-0 hockey game because he's on it. Now, Canucks need to pick it up here. You're right. They're struggling with the same things. It seems a bit repetitive for what they have.
They're barely getting set up. They barely got set up on that man advantage.
Yeah. No, I got 2.5 minutes, to get the first shot attempt on there. 0 for 4 on the first break-ins. They didn't even set it up, right? So at that point,
face-offs, right? McLeod's in the box. Derek Ryan wins 2 face-offs in the defensive zone for the Canucks, or the offensive zone for the Canucks. So just missed opportunities.
Yeah, and you know what? At this point, maybe just try a couple off the rush. Just throw a curveball at them, trying to get them, pull them off those walls, because they're jumping those walls and they're outmounting them really in a hurry.
13-2 looks favorable for Edmonton, but a lot of shots just off the rush that they're just launching in on Shilov. So I don't get too caught up in the number, but certainly 2 is not good enough for Vancouver.
Hold on. I mean, I look at the scoring chance. Edmonton's probably had a couple of quality scoring chances. I mean, hey, maybe one of the best chances up until Connor Brown had the breakaway was Ilya Mikheyev, who he gets Skinner to commit, goes down on the ice. There's space there for him to put it past him into the net. And as we know, Ilya Mikheyev not making the most of his scoring opportunities, doesn't score on that one either. So there's been a couple of chances, but the one thing that really stood out, and we're seeing people on social media and our text inbox really pointed out, the Canucks really got into a rhythm of just dumping the puck in and going off for a change. They spent almost 0 time in the offensive zone, it felt like, in that first period. A couple broken plays and chances that they had, but it seemed like they were out there for 20, 30, 40 seconds, and they just did work to get the puck, get it to the red line, dump it in, and go off for a change. And that was like a cycle that got into for about a 12-minute stretch there, guys.
Just give me the fake first guy pressure, just to keep the team honest. There was all 3 guys changing, which is surprising on its own. And look, you can do that sometimes if Derek Ryan or Ryan McLeod are back there to retrieve the puck. They did it once with Connor McDavid out there. And if you're Connor McDavid, that is tail up, let's go. They're giving me free access out of the zone all the way up the ice, and he ends up getting a shot from the wing through Quinn Hughes' leg, Shilov's gloves, but that's a big alarm there that they're so willing to do the dumping and all 3 guys change. You got to have just someone there to provide some form of pressure just to direct the guy.
Yeah, exactly. Throw a guy out to at least stall, let your other guys come on and help, or instead of the dumping, if you have D coming on, you can go back to the D, get Edmonton to change. But one thing is for sure, you can't exactly get into that cycle where you're just dumping in, you're taking it back, you get into the grind game of Edmonton, and then you're dumping it in again. Exactly that. It's a cycle change, and you can't do it.
It'd be one thing if Edmonton does a 5-on-5 breakout and they get through. That's okay. Like that's understandable. But it's guys coming through the defensive zone with speed, and suddenly you're changing, and there's pathways that are open. That they had a couple of chances there on like 4-on-3 entries, 4-on-4 entries, because the Canucks are scrambling, just these square passes, trying to go for one-timers. They were there. The Oilers just didn't connect on any of them.
Well, one thing that's pretty evident, too, I think the battle in the neutral zone clearly went to Edmonton in that first period, too. We know the Canucks love to have the kind of almost like the hook and ladder play in the neutral zone where they'll hit it to like a point man like Dakota Joshua, then they'll make an east-west pass for a guy in speed. It seems like they got 2 guys closing on the first guy to get the puck. They're trying to prevent that pass for them to be able to build it through, to be able to get the dump in and to be able to generate some speed through neutral zone. So they're going to have to make some adjustments because right now Edmonton's winning that battle through the neutral zone.
Yeah, and I think that leads to exactly that dump in and change cycle because you're just flat-footed and you can't win any battles with no momentum. Edmonton skating, so more support, breaking the puck out together, and then establishing a forecheck, right? That's the thing they were so good at Game 5. It helps on the defensive game. so much, and they just haven't. I think they've had 1 or 2 forechecks that I've actually noticed.
Their best moments in this game so far have been off the forecheck, right? Pedersen pressures Desharnais, and Miller cuts the clearance up off the wall, and it gets to Mikheyev. There's the chance. Even the penalty drawn was off a good forecheck, right? And there's Pedersen drawing a penalty on McLeod there, but that all comes from their work down below as well.
It's been that line. I mean, that's been the only line, the Pedersen, Miller, Mikheyev line that's generated much of anything. It was they drew the penalty, the Mikheyev chance. There was also like kind of a half chance where Miller threw the shot. I thought it was a Skinner save that created a rebound. Maybe it hit a skate and bumped out, and Pedersen just missed the rebound. Would have been a clear net for him to put it home. So I think that's been the only line that's generated much of anything in the offensive zone for the Canucks in the first.
Certainly, you hope so, right? That's the plan. You will load those guys up, and at first look, I think they played a lot with Quinn Hughes on the ice as well. So that would be something that would indicate, hey, an opportunity to get that line going, because they need that line to be the best line. And so far it was, but not within the scope of the game.
Yeah, not much from the other lines. Garland had, or Lindholm, I think, had one up tight, or Garland did early from Lindholm behind the net.
Rush too,
so that line is showing signs of maybe coming along here. We definitely want to pick it up. I think they've turned over a few pucks on that play you're talking about up to Joshua, and then there's good good back check from either the forwards or the D-men coming up. So definitely getting it north and getting a forecheck on all 3 of those lines to get more opportunities.
We have a lot of reaction on the text inbox. One of the big topics is this one here says the dump and chase has to be part of a strategy, right? Like Talk would shut it down if it wasn't. And Jay in North Delta says, I don't understand Talk's strategy of dumping and chasing. I don't think that's their strategy, guys. Like you hear Talk speak a lot about he wants guys to have support on the forecheck. He wants guys to make plays. He wants guys to hold on to pucks. He doesn't like it when they get into the cycle of dump and change. So I don't think that's a coaching directive here tonight. It's more about how the game is unfolding.
If you're just looking at who's been more courageous so far through 20 minutes, it certainly leans towards the Oilers. Even just their D-man, they're above the blue line, forcing them those dump-ins. And the fact that you're not sending an extra guy in. So there have been moments that certainly shade towards Edmonton.
Yeah, and I'll go from a player's point of view. I think that's a little bit of nerves coming into this game. And then you get so stuck on those hard matchups that the coach wants, and then you see your partners change and not a lot of support, so you end up just changing to stay with. But he wants at least one of those guys staying out to create a little havoc and try to get something back, at least time back for those other lines to get out and get in position.
Now, the most positive part of that first period from the Vancouver Canucks is that net minding. Artur Shilov's, the moment, as we've grown to learn, is not too big for him. Game 7, all-Canadian matchup, Canucks and Oilers. He let in 5 goals last game, didn't play his sharpest. He is on it here tonight. Now, hey, maybe he's kicked out a couple rebounds, but he kicked out a rebound to Brett Kulak and came across and made a paddle save. One of the saves of the playoffs so far from Artur Shilov. And we mentioned Stone's Connor Brown on the breakaway chance when the Canucks are on the power play. He's come to play in a big way. And if it wasn't for him, this score could be different here in the first.
That's the biggest encouraging sign here, right? You have a rough first period. You get to say, hey, it's 0-0, and now we've got to go compete for our goalie because he's the one that's doing it. The reason we still have a chance here through 40 minutes is our goalie.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what they're saying in the room is, hey, this guy came to play. Let's do it for him. Now it's something to rally around. He's kept you in it. Now make sure that those saves are worth it.
Of all people to be the example, right, of, hey, rise up to the moment. There's some veterans on this team. Ilya Mikheyev gets a big bump up the lineup from out of the lineup onto the first line because you're a veteran. You can't be shying away from these moments, and that message has to go through across the board right now.
Yeah, got to be more brave, right? Something the guys got to do here heading into the second period. A lot of reaction on the text inbox. Dave in Coquitlam says, Hronek can't play on the power play. Backhand passes in the middle of the ice. He's struggling real bad. I was surprised to see Hronek come out there on the first unit. I would have thought Garland would get another chance to get on the man advantage, especially with Besser coming out. I haven't ever loved Hronek on the man advantage. We'll see if they get any more power plays. I'll be surprised given they got a double minor already, high sticking, and game 7. The refs don't want to give out any more penalties, but I didn't love Hronek being out there because we've seen doesn't shoot the puck enough.
Yeah, and that's why he's out there. To me, that's the only reason they'd put him out there is a shoot-first mentality and just get him to hammer a bunch. Whether you hit guys or not, take him in the feet, take him in the chest, just hammer pucks, get it to the net, try to create havoc. And like we said, they didn't get a good shot. Well, they didn't get a shot at all, but they got 1.5 going to the net in an attempt.
Yeah.
The thing, too, is he just doesn't help on the entries, right? What's the biggest issue? And now you got one more D-man out there. it looks tough with him out there. And then when you're hoping to get this, miracle shot, the flank bomb, one-timer, the opportunities just don't get presented enough because he's not a problem solver on other spots for your power play.
Well, you also get two guys kind of stationed by the blue line, whereas if you go with the 1D man, the other forwards are more adept to try to dig down a little bit deeper to make plays. Both those guys are straddling the blue line so much, so it ends up being a 3-on-4 or 4-on-3 down low. And how often did we see, there was one play in particular, they're overloading Edmonton. They're going a 3-on-2 battle. It's like 3 Edmonton Oilers PKers and 2 Canucks players. It's like nobody's offering support. Like, why are you letting PKers outman you in a warp forward battle? And part of it to me is your 2 defensemen are both staying high, so you're not giving them the situation to be able to go and outman guys.
That board battle thing too is something we saw in Game 6. So you got to be a bit more brave to get into those spots and create outman numbers.
Yeah, exactly. And they had 4 guys within the dot, right? So they're really trying to outman you. That's their whole purpose there. So you need at least 4. Get the 5 in there. As long as there's one guy on that D side, get the bodies in there.
Well, I'm sure what the coach mentions is if you guys win those battles, especially with their overloads, what does that mean? There's space on the other side. But you got to win the pucks to be able to create that space. And right now, the Canucks aren't winning those battles. Same thing goes for the neutral zone. If you're able to beat that press, what does that mean? There's more space in behind. So there will be plays out there to be made. The question is, do the Canucks have the composure and the poise to get that done here in the second?
I'll be interested to see what Tocchet breaks away from here, because some things haven't worked. How risk-averse or how risky is it going to be to change things up here?
Yeah, to me, it's just getting pucks going north and getting bodies with it. That's what when we saw pucks going north, nobody went with them. And when the bodies were out there, they were trying to go to east and west, right? So you need to get those going together, get it north, get it forecheck going there.
Ashley from New West, can we find out the person playing the music between plays is okay? Songs have been questionable. So some people pointing out the song selections at Rogers Arena. Hey, the vibes have been great here. Scoreless. No matter how poorly the Canucks played in the first, it's 0-0 heading into the second. Brief power play remains for Vancouver. Sat, Vic, and Brett will be back for the second intermission. Back to Randy with your second period call next on Sportsnet 650.
The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a skilled trades worker, you might not be feeling that way right now. But in Alberta, skilled trades workers can earn more, save more, and live more with better wages and a lower cost of living. Visit albertaiscalling.ca to learn more about the $5,000 moving bonus for the first 2,000 skilled trades workers who move to Alberta, stay for a year, and successfully apply. A message from the Government of Alberta.
BCers love hockey, and they also love burgers. What's even better is saving 20% off takeout during the playoffs. Order White Spot online and save 20% off with code SAVE20. Not valid on May 12th, June 16th, or on pirate packs and alcohol. Only at whitespot.ca.
Check out my new scope. I can see for miles. And when I stand like this, I look like Captain
Hook? You look like if Peter Pan liked cheeseburgers.
What? I look good in green.
This summer, before you head to the hills or the range, gear up at Siwash Sports for the largest selection of optics in the valley, from Zeiss and Vortex to Sig Sauer, Scorpion, Leopold, and Burris. Shop BC's newest Browning and Winchester dealer, the Fraser Valley's Siwash Sports, in Chilliwack and online at siwashsports.ca.
In today's modern world, there are still a few time-honored traditions in one's life. Things that are a rite of passage. Your grandfather would have experienced this. And certainly, your father was there. And now, it's your turn for a legendary time. Pre-game, post-game, even during the game, the number 5 orange.
If you worry about gas prices, Magnuson Ford and Metro Ford want to offer you a solution. Test drive one of their amazing electric Mustang Mach-E SUVs for 4 years for as little as $8,000 a year. Drive past the gas station, use your current car as cash with zero interest. Test drive a new Mustang Mach-E electric starting from just $8,000 a year and say goodbye to soaring gas prices. Visit Magnuson Ford or Metro Ford today.
We survived winter! Yes! Now it's time to start planning those spring projects around the house, and there's no better place to start than at Dunbar Lumber. Metro Vancouver's smart alternative offers quality products, affordable prices, and a knowledgeable staff to get you on the right track. Come visit the place that contractors have relied upon for more than 50 years. Dunbar Lumber has locations in Vancouver, Ladner, and opening soon in Tilbury's Industrial Park. Dunbar Lumber, the smart alternative. For more information, check out dunbarlumber.com.
Your business is more than just numbers. It's years of hard work, dreams, and passion. But in the midst of the hustle, have you taken the time to understand its true worth? Crow's trusted advisors can help. With global expertise across a wide variety of industries, let Crow uncover the real value of your business. Redefine your company's success. Visit crowmackay.ca to learn more. Crow. Smart decisions, lasting value.
Landlords spend 76 hours managing their property in a year.
That's 19 date nights.
25 hockey games. And 37
Dad, let's get some ice cream.
moments. What could you be doing with your time? At Hope Street, we help busy landlords get their time back. Live life, get paid. Become an armchair landlord today. Hope Street, because life's too short to spend it managing properties.
Step up to the plate. Let's play ball.
It's go time.
Stream the Toronto Blue Jays all season long on Sportsnet Plus.
Look at that play.
Plans start at $19.99 a month.
Boy, oh boy, this is premium stuff.
Subscribe now at sportsnetplus.ca.
Hey, this is Patrick Demko.
Cece with a one-timer. Good save by Demko down low. Rebound chance for Evander Kane. Demko stopped that too.
And you're on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back inside Rogers Arena. Brendan Batchelor and Randeep Jandu with you. No score between the Canucks and Oilers after one period in Game 7. We'll go to the second period momentarily. Thanks for joining us along the Sportsnet Radio Network tonight, whether you're Nate tuning in from Indonesia, Jason in Fort Wayne, Indiana, or wherever you're tuning in. Thank you for spending your evening, afternoon, or morning with us. Let us know where you're listening from. You can reach me at Batch Hockey. He is at Randeep Janda. Our flagship station is at Sportsnet 650. You can find those handles on Instagram, TikTok, and the social media platform formerly known as Twitter at Randeep. Something that might be a little bit concerning for the Canucks. The Oilers' top players didn't actually play that much in that first period.
Part of that is the penalty kill because McDavid and Draisaitl don't kill penalties, but Connor McDavid sitting at 5 minutes and 13 seconds of ice time, and Leon Draisaitl 4 minutes and 9 seconds, which means for the next 40 minutes, they'll be pretty fresh.
Canucks have 14 seconds left on a power play to start the second period. Ryan McLeod in the box for a high-sticking double minor. Canucks in blue going from left to right. The Oilers in white skating from right to left, and Miller wins the draw to Pettersson. He'll leave it back at his own line for Filip Hronek. Hronek tried to fire it middle of the ice off the end boards. It hit Derek Ryan. Might have caught him up high. Stayed out of the zone, though, and now Hughes tips it in on the left wing. No forecheck from the Canucks. They're going to change, and Desharnais dumps it all the way back down the ice. McLeod out of the box, first two at left corner. Cycles behind the Vancouver net. McDavid's after it. Pushed to the boards by Hughes. Hronek after the puck. Got it to the line, but McDavid held in, and Hughes takes it behind his own net. Fires it off the glass, far side, out to center. Here's Mikheyev after the puck. Fighting with McDavid to the Oiler line. Dumps it right wing. Spins it behind the net. Teddy Bluger's pinned to the end boards by Matthias Ekholm. McDavid in to get it. Is crunched into the wall by Di Giuseppe. Comes loose to Zach Hyman, far boards. Dispossessed by Mikheyev. Bats it back to Carson Soucy at his own line. Soucy watched by Draisaitl as the two top guns of the Oilers are on the ice together here early in the second period. Bluger wins a battle with Draisaitl at his own line. Dumps it behind his own net. Soucy spins away from McDavid. Gets it near corner for Myers. He'll funnel it up the wall. But it's held in by Draisaitl left wing. Then on the second attempt, Myers clears it off the glass and down the ice. And this will be icing against Vancouver. 1:10 into the second period. No score in Game 7 between the Canucks and Oilers.
And the reason Knobloch has McDavid and Draisaitl together here is because they haven't had that ice time where you can load up, get your stars into a bit of a rhythm. On the other side, JT Miller currently at 9 minutes and 27 seconds, and Quinn Hughes at 10 minutes. So they nearly played half of the first period.
Bluger line caught out after the icing against a hybrid line for the Oilers, and they win the draw. McLeod back to Kulak, right point. Ceci shoots, he scores! Cody Ceci with a heavy drive for the right point beats Artur Shilovs, and the Oilers draw first blood in Game 7.
They get that important goal as Ryan McLeod wins the faceoff back to Kulak, who sends a D-to-D pass to the right-hand side to Cody Ceci, and he blasts it past Artur Shilovs, and this goes glove side, just over the shoulder of Artur Shilovs, and it looked like he picked it up late. No deflection, straight through over the left shoulder. 1-0 Oilers.
Ceci's second to the playoffs comes 1:16 into the second period to give the Oilers the 1-0 lead. The time of the goal is brought to you by Crow, your trusted advisors for 55 years. Learn more at crowmackay.ca. Canucks dump the puck into the Oiler end. Skinner out of the goal, clears near point, held in by Ian Cole. Behind the net for Connor Garland. Protecting it on his backhand. Try to centering pass. Blocked off a stick. Comes back to Garland. He'll bank it left point for Zadorov. Nikita Zadorov funnels it back behind the Oiler net. Garland's got it right corner. Spinning away from Kulak. Connor Garland. Pressure by McLeod, too. Threw it to the crease. It bounced off a body near side, and Evander Kane flips it high in the air for Dylan Holloway, who will carry to center. Holloway dumps it right corner in the Vancouver zone. Zadorov back to the puck. Hit hard into the end boards by Evander Kane. Puck rolls free near corner. Lafferty's back to it. Chips behind his own net. Cole missed it. Dakota Joshua trips Evan Bouchard away from the play, and that's going to be a Vancouver penalty. Delayed call at the moment. Oilers still have it in the Vancouver zone, but Lafferty touches the puck, and this is going to be a crucial moment in this Game 7. As the Oilers get their first power play of the night, moments after taking the 1-0 lead.
And you have to keep your composure. You allow the 1-0 goal to Cody Ceci, and Dakota Joshua just sticks out the left leg. By the looks of it, ends up tripping the Edmonton Oilers skater. Ian Cole was the right leg, actually, as Evan Bouchard was trying to chase down the puck. And that's just the Canucks eating pressure, and Dakota Joshua with an undisciplined play there. Huge penalty kill for Vancouver.
Canucks have killed off the last 9 consecutive Oiler power plays, and Edmonton wins the draw. Bouchard, left circle Nugent Hopkins, near corner McDavid, behind the Vancouver net. Out the right wing side, loose for Bouchard. One-timer blocked in front, and Lindholm gets the rebound and clears it all the way back into the Oiler end. Only one shot in this second period, and it's found the back of the net. Ceci scoring on Shelovs. Now here's Hyman, middle of the ice for Draisaitl. Into the Vancouver zone, made a move around Zadorov. Myers forces him far corner. Draisaitl leaves for McDavid. Low shot, stopped by Shelovs. Rebound in front. Shelovs made a couple of great saves on whack attempts by Hyman, and now Bluger gets it back down into the Oiler end.
Good battle level by Shelovs. Didn't quit on the play. A couple of seconds of uncertainty there, but still kept a good position there. Didn't flail.
Still more than a minute left in the Oiler power play. McDavid to the Vancouver line. Leaves left wing for Nugent Hopkins. Drops to Bouchard to the point. Right side Leon Draisaitl. Challenged on the wall by Oman. Makes a move middle of the ice. Goes left side for Nugent Hopkins. Back to Bouchard, top of the point. Again to Nugent Hopkins, left side. Now to Bouchard. Right circle McDavid. Cutting into the slot. Tries a shot. It's deflected into the near corner. DiGiuseppe pins Nugent Hopkins to the boards. Myers is in to help out. It's sent free far side. Draisaitl fanned on a one-timer for the right circle, and Shelovs over to his left, made the save and held on. 3:18 gone in the second period. 49 seconds left in the Dakota Joshua minor penalty. The Oilers lead the Canucks 1-0 in Game 7.
The Vancouver Canucks gets very, very lucky here. Over the last 2 games, they've done a great job of denying the seam pass to Leon Draisaitl near his office, just next to that goal line. And this time they allow it, but luckily for them, he just fans on the shot, gets a little bit of it. Plenty of time for Archer Shelovs to go from right to left.
Miller and Draisaitl on the draw to the left of Shelovs in the Vancouver zone. A scrambled faceoff. One free by Pettersson, but McDavid holds into the line. Left circle Bouchard. Down the near boards. Banks it back to Nugent Hopkins with room. High slot to Bouchard, left circle. Turns and fires. I think that might have hit Hyman. Missed the net, and Hronek on the near side. Pounds it all the way down on Stuart Skinner. Bouchard in his own end. Drops for McDavid. 25 seconds left in the power play. McDavid with a nice pass right wing for Draisaitl. Into the Vancouver zone, far circle. Shoots right on. Shelovs held it out. Nugent Hopkins gets it left wing. Banks it back to the line for Bouchard. 15 seconds left in the power play. Left wing Nugent Hopkins tried a shot. Tip wide of the net by Hronek. He chases Hyman behind the goal, but he gets it right corner for McDavid. Now to Bouchard. With room. Right point. Chased down by Mikheyev. Goes down the wall to McDavid. Winding into the slot. Right circle Draisaitl. Settles back to McDavid. Left wing. Across to Draisaitl. Shoots. What a save by Shelovs. Sprawling to his left. Absolute larceny from the Canuck netminder. A crucial penalty kill save of one of the best goal scorers in the game, and it's still 1-0.
Keeping his team in it. Archer Shelovs not quitting on the play. Looks like Connor McDavid has a pretty decent pass to the net. Ends up passing to the right-hand side to Leon Draisaitl, who's in his office, and a deflection by Ian Cole off his stick, and then Archer Shelovs reacts to that deflection to make the save. Heck of a play by the Canucks defenseman and the goaltender there.
And the penalty has expired, so the Oilers are 0 for 1 on the power play. 4:09 into the second. Edmonton leads Game 7 1-0. Cody Ceci with a lone goal. Lindholm and McLeod to take the draw to the left of Shelovs of the Vancouver end. McLeod wins it back to Darnell Nurse. Nurse dumps it down the right wing. Ryan McLeod's got it on the end boards. Back battling with Zadorov. McLeod gets it free for Evander Kane. Try to shot blocked by Lindholm, and Hughes has it far side. Canucks can try to counterattack. Hughes to center for Garland. Winding to the Oiler line, dumps it left board, skates onto it himself, drop to Joshua. High slot, Zadorov shoots, he fired it over the goal. Rebound bounces far circle. Desharnais clears it out to center. Here's a foot race. Evander Kane after it. Zadorov back to the puck. Kane pokes it past him, trying to drive to the net. In tight, stop by Shelovs. Rebound rolls wide of the net. Where's the puck? It's underneath the Canuck goaltender. And he covers up and gets the whistle. 4:40 into the second period. Good looks at both ends of the ice, but it remains 1-0 for Edmonton.
Action on both ends of the ice. Nikita Zadorov looks like he has a clean look at goal as the puck pops over, and a good find by Dakota Joshua, and just right over the net, right over the right shoulder of Stuart Skinner. And then Zadorov has to go back to defense and ensures that Evander Kane doesn't have an easy path to the net. So the Canucks are going to have to push here. They're going to have to take some chances. They got a great one there through Nikita Zadorov.
And they need to test Stuart Skinner. You got to hit the net when you get those good looks. Make him make the save. As the Oilers win the faceoff, but Carrick won it back, and Sam Lafferty jumped forward off the draw, got it to center, but was stripped of the puck by Connor Brown, who gave it away to Suter. Höglander, left wing at center, battling with Ceci for the puck. Brown in to help out, gives it away to Hughes, but now play is called, I believe, on a hand pass, and we'll have a neutral zone faceoff.
And this line of Suter, Lafferty, and Höglander having trouble getting the puck past the red line. When you're in the bottom six especially, you have to make sure your one job is to get the puck deep, work off the forecheck, and set up the other lines, whether it's the third line, whether it's the fourth line, or the top six. Make sure that they are able to carry over what you start.
Now here's Höglander, left wing into the Oilers zone, dumps it far corner. Lafferty's after it on the forecheck, battling with Kulak. Carrick got it free to Connor Brown. He fights off a check from Hugh Suter, tried a centering pass, tipped nicely by Höglander, middle of the ice, back into the Vancouver zone. Hronek back to it, is knocked down by Kulak. Passes far corner, it's sent in front, deflected off a stick, top of the crease. Janmark tried to chip it home, but it missed the net, and Suter passes far corner for Hughes. Quinn Hughes feeds to center, Sam Lafferty gloves it down, driving into the Oilers zone, lost the puck. Höglander following up, can't find it, and Connor Brown's got it instead. Brown back into the Vancouver end. Wide on the right wing boards, pushed to the wall by Hughes, keeps the puck, cycles down low to Sam Carrick. Hughes and Hronek in to try and steal it from Carrick. And it's sent by Brown around to the left wing for Matthias Ekholm. Ekholm funnels it back behind the Vancouver net. Met far side by Hyman off the bench, trying to spin away from Hronek. Leaves for Nugent Hopkins, right circle. Back to the line for Bouchard. Takes a slap shot, now takes a wrist shot. He scores! There was traffic in front. It went off the post and in. And the Oilers extend their lead. 5:50 into the second. It's 2-0 Edmonton.
Another goal by Edmonton defenseman Evan Bouchard gets the shot through. That is his 5th goal in this series. And this happens because the Canucks line is hemmed in. They've been on the ice for over a minute, facing pressure. And what happens? You start getting tired. You start allowing the point shot to come through. And that's exactly what happens where Evan Bouchard just lets a wrister go. There's a little bit of traffic through Zach Hyman right above the blue paint. And Shelovs is beaten blocker side. It was deflected.
I think it was Hyman that got a tip on it, top of the crease. And the Canucks are talking about this one at their bench, wondering maybe if this was a high stick. It didn't look like it to me initially, and they're not going to challenge it. So the goal will be credited to Hyman, we believe. And the Oilers lead 2-0 in Game 7. 5:50 of the second period is the time of the goal, brought to you by Crow, your trusted advisors for 55 years. Learn more at crowmackay.ca. Holloway, right wing, to the Vancouver line, try to centering pass. Mikheyev gets it near boards. Banks it ahead for Pettersson, who steals it from Draisaitl, played it to center for JT Miller, pushed to the boards by Nurse. Comes back to Draisaitl, left wing, into the Vancouver zone, down the near boards, try to make a move to the slot. Knocked off the puck by Myers. Pettersson leaves near corner, and JT Miller's got it. Quick pass to center for Mikheyev. Gains the red line, dumps it right corner. Will pursue Desharnais on the forecheck and hits him into the end boards. As Miller gets it free, heavy pass to the line, comes out of the zone, and Hughes has it on his own side of center. Hughes left wing for G. Giuseppe brought it in, but Mikheyev was still in the zone. Offside against the Canucks. 6:31 into the second period of Game 7. It's the Oilers 2 and Vancouver 0 on Alpine Credits Canucks playoff hockey on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hey, it's Kevin Woodley, and there's nothing better than driving to a playoff game when the sun is out, except maybe doing it in the completely redesigned 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe. With a bold modern appearance and luxurious
Hey Insiders, thanks for joining us for Game 7 of the Western Conference semifinals between the Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers. Which team will move on to face the Dallas Stars on Wednesday night? Only time will tell. Make sure you hit that like button down below. It's going to bring more Oilers and Canucks and hockey fans into the chat. And as well, share this stream out. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn that bell on so you see when we go live for every single game of the Western Conference and Eastern Conference Finals, the Stanley Cup Finals, and all Blue Jays season long. Thank you all for being here. We'll see you guys in the chat.
Faucets or visit Shareit.com. Your feet, the silent workhorses of your body. They've danced you through life's highs, sprinted you through challenges, even stood firm on the green for that last putt. But even the strongest of supporters need support. That's where Kintec comes in. Not just with shoes, but with custom orthotics that ensure every step is aligned and comfortable. Visit kintec.net and discover how orthotics can transform your every step.
Hi, this is Matthew Demko, and you're on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650.
You're listening to Alpine Credits Canucks Playoff Hockey on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network. Own your home. Alpine Credits can get your loan approved. Alpine Credits homeowners get approved. Visit alpinecredits.ca. 6:31 into the second period of Game 7. The Oilers lead the Canucks 2-0. On goals right now that have been credited to Cody Ceci and Evan Bouchard, but we believe Bouchard's goal will be changed to Zach Hyman. And if it is, it'll be his team leading 11th of the playoffs. Oilers win a face-off, dump it into the Vancouver zone. Soucy far corner. Can't find the puck. Lindholm gets it, centers for Tyler Myers. Myers passes right wing to center for Garland, banks it past Ekholm to the Oiler line, pursuing the puck. Bouchard got it back to center for McDavid, and he'll clear it left wing to the Vancouver line. Hyman brings it in offside, and the face-off will come out.
And going back to that 2-0 goal, it's the fourth line that is out there for Vancouver. They've been on the ice for about 30 to 45 seconds and then unable to get a change because Edmonton hit him on the transition just a little bit, but Edmonton was able to get their top line out there. And what happens after that? Vancouver starts eating pressure. They kind of sag back and they allow Bouchard to get that shot off. And over the last 3 games, that's been really the theme in the second period. Which team can put pressure on the other one, and that's who's won the game.
And Chris Knobloch talked about this the other day. A key factor in that is the long change. If you can have those sustained shifts, it's easier to hem another team in and have their guys caught out there for a long time, and that's what the Oilers have done to the Canucks here early in the second period. Here's Quinn Hughes to center, left wing for Pius Suter, tips it into the Oilers zone. Kulak back to the puck. Hit hard into the inboards by Lafferty. Hoaglander's got it right wing. Niels Hoaglander tried to bank it back to the point. Came to Fogle. Couldn't clear. Hronek gets a long shot. Blockered away easily by Skinner. Lafferty on the left wing. Battling with CC along the boards. Puck is caught up in skates. And Hoaglander gets it loose. Try to pass into the slot. Deflected away from Fogle to Suter. Now to the right point. Hronek waits. Shoots. It was tipped. And rolled wide into the near corner. Hoaglander down low, spinning off a check, gets it to Lafferty, tried a centering pass intended for Suter. Tip back to Hronek. Left point, Hughes makes a move around Derek Ryan, down the left wing wall. Hughes shoots, Skinner's there to make the save and hold on, as the Canuck captain tried to beat him short side. 7:47 gone in the second period. Oilers up 2-0 in Game 7.
The Canucks need more of that, which is A, zone time, but on top of that, just getting pucks through. Quinn Hughes making a bit of a shimmy shake on the left-hand side to create some room down the left wing and getting a shot through. There's no traffic. Stuart Skinner makes a save, but at some point, a rebound will pop loose, and the Canucks need to get to the middle of the ice after finding shots like that.
Miller line against the Draisaitl line. Miller drawing up a play here, setting things up off the faceoff. And he wins it cleanly to Mikheyev. Left point, Hughes. Dumps it to Mikheyev, left corner, protected the puck from Desharnais, carries up the wall. Mikheyev into the slot, cycles below the goal line. Draisaitl broke it up, and he clears it high in the air to center on the backhand. Zadorov back to it, chased down by Kane, got it free to Mikheyev, and again for Zadorov near side at his own line. Now to Pettersson at center, lifts it in high to the right corner. Goes after Desharnais on the forecheck. He clears around far boards for Holloway. Can't get it out. He was knocked down by Ian Cole. Pettersson gets it behind the net. Pinned to the boards by Desharnais. Fights through the check. Passes near corner for JT Miller. Miller to the line. Zadorov shoots. It went wide past the glove side of Skinner. It's loose behind the net. Pettersson gets it free to Mikheyev. It's tipped near corner. Out of the reach of JT Miller. He's hit by Evander Kane. Or he hits Evander Kane, rather. Oilers couldn't clear, but now here's Kane left wing to center. Chance for a 3-on-2 for the Oilers. Kane, left wing, Draisaitl right side. Holloway with a one-timer, and Shelov's across to his left. Made another good save. Now Kane gets it behind the Vancouver goal. Stick handling on the end boards, played it into the front of the net, but Miller controls and leaves it back for Shelovs, who will cover up. 8:44 into this second period. It's the Oilers 2 and the Canucks nothing in Game 7 from Rogers Arena.
The Canucks get the zone time, but a transition attack by the Oilers as Dylan Holloway coming down the right-hand side gets a nice feed from Leon Draisaitl and moving from right to left. Shelovs looking confident. Really been impressed by his side-to-side east-west movement in this game, and he's had to make a couple of saves doing that.
Bluger and Carrick will take the draw in their own zone. Canucks need something to try and turn the momentum here, and they win the faceoff. Here's Di Giuseppe, left wing to center. Banks it into the Oilers zone. First to it on the forecheck. Dumps it behind the net, and Hronik's after it right wing side. Hronik chips it back top of the circle for Bluger. Hit into the boards by Carrick. Puck rolls out of the zone, and here come the Oilers with speed. Janmark left wing into the Vancouver end. Delay centering. Pass deflected. Right back to the goal. Shelovs held it out. I think it hit one of his own players, but he made a save. Lost his stick. Now Carrick fans on a shot for the point. Gave it away. Here come the Canucks. Oman left wing to center. Tired of the end of a shift. Gains the red line. Fights it into the Oilers zone himself so his line mates can change, and now he will join them with Edmonton regrouping. Kulak. Try to pass to center, knocked down by Hughes for Garland. He'll turn back up ice on the right wing. Connor Garland, wide of the near boards, throws it to the goal. Skinner made the save. An easy stop for him, but Canucks need to test him more, and they get an offensive zone faceoff off that shot from wide on the wall off the stick of Garland.
The shots are coming from the perimeter right now. Connor Garland with this one, and the one before that was Quinn Hughes on the left-hand side. Skinner not letting any rebounds out, but here's the problem. The Canucks aren't getting bodies there in time either, so whether for a deflection or a rebound, just nobody in front of the net when that shot's going through.
Canucks have looked a day late and $1 short thus far. As Lindholm and McDavid contest the face-off of the Oilers zone, McDavid wins it back to Ekholm. He flips it high in the air to center. McDavid's taken down by Lindholm away from the puck, but plays allowed to continue. Canucks clear to center. Bouchard dumps it back in. Comes to Hyman left wing. Poke check by Myers. Hyman keeps it, shoots left circle, and Shelovs grabbed it with his glove hand for the whistle. 9:45 into this second period. It's Edmonton 2 and Vancouver nothing in Game 7.
And a pretty big battle there in the neutral zone with Lindholm and McDavid. And McDavid talking to one of the officials right now. Pretty sure it'll be about that play at the Edmonton Oilers blue line where Lindholm just tosses him down to the ice. We've seen a lot of that in this series where the Canucks are trying to be as physical as possible with McDavid when he doesn't have the puck.
McDavid and Lindholm again on the faceoff, this time in the Vancouver end of the ice. McDavid's thrown out of the draw, so Nugent Hopkins will step in instead. Shots are 25-6 for the Oilers as we near the midway mark of the second period. Edmonton up 2-0. Hyman with a centering pass behind the net off the faceoff, broken up by Garland, got it free to Lindholm. And he skates right wing to center, floats it into the Oiler end. Joshua's onto it. Poked off the puck by Ekholm. Puck rolls behind the net. Joshua centers in front. Hyman batted it out of midair, and Joshua's got it again left corner. Nice feed to the right point. Susie long shot stopped by Skinner. Big rebound left circle comes to Lindholm in the slot. He tries to settle it. Was tied up by McDavid. It rolls free to Nugent Hopkins on the near wall. And then to Bouchard behind his own net. He's hit hard by Lindholm. Clear to the line, not out. Susie holds in for Lindholm left circle. Fights it free for Garland. Far corner. Centers for Lindholm. Left wing face-off dot. Back to Susie at the line. Long shot through traffic. Blocked. And then found by McDavid. And he'll skate out to center with speed. McDavid for Nugent Hopkins. Left wing into the Vancouver zone. Drops to Bouchard near boards. Carrying down the wall through it to the net. Stop by Shelovs. Garland's got the rebound. He'll settle it. And pass right wing to center for Niels Höglander. Höglander into the Oiler end. Driving wide on Nurse to the corner. Protects the puck down low. Feeds the line for Zadorov. Long shot. Blocked in front by Nugent Hopkins. And McDavid gets it out to center for Derek Ryan, who gains the red line and dumps it into the Vancouver end. Just over 9 minutes left, second period. Oilers up 2-0 in Game 7. Ian Cole gets it off the glass to center. Right wing for Lafferty. Middle of the ice, Suter. Into the Oiler end. Left circle, Höglander. Back to Lafferty. In front. To the net. Stopped by Skinner, who outweighted him and made a great save, sliding to his left. And he holds on for the whistle. 8:56 remaining in this second period. It's Edmonton 2 and Vancouver nothing on Alpine Credits Canucks Playoff Hockey. Streaming on the Sportsnet app and along the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a skilled trades worker, you might not be feeling that way right now. But in Alberta, skilled trades workers can earn more, save more, and live more with better wages and a lower cost of living. Visit albertaiscalling.ca to learn more about the $5,000 moving bonus for the first 2,000 skilled trades workers who move to Alberta, stay for a year, and successfully apply. A message from the Government of Alberta.
When was the last time you hung out with a legend? A true Vancouver legend that every pro athlete, actor, and rock star who is anyone has gotten to know. A place where a legendary night can happen any night. Isn't it time you got reacquainted with this Vancouver legend? Pre-game, post-game, even during the game. The number 5 Orange.
Your feet, the silent workhorses of your body. They've danced you through life's highs, sprinted you through challenges, even stood firm on the green for that last putt. But even the strongest of supporters need support. That's where Kintec comes in. Not just with shoes, but with custom orthotics that ensure every step is aligned and comfortable. Visit kintec.net and discover how orthotics can transform your every step.
Hey, this is Connor Garland.
It's 4-0 Canucks with 6:41 left in the second.
And you're on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet Radio Network.
Get your tickets for the Canucks online 50-50 draw. Go to Canucks.com/50-50 to enter. Ticket sales close at the end of the second intermission. Must be 19 plus and located in BC at the time of purchase to play. Know your limit. Play within it. 8:56 left in the second period of Game 7. The Oilers lead the Canucks 2-0. Rick Tockett's blending his lines now. He's got Phil DiGiuseppe on the ice for an offensive zone faceoff with JT Miller and Elias Pettersson. It's against the Draisaitl line. Miller wins the draw near boards, battling with Draisaitl for the puck. Digs it free to Pettersson. He'll bank it back to the line for Quinn Hughes. Middle of the ice, long wrist shot. Tipped on, stopped by Skinner. Rebound sent wide to the net by DiGiuseppe on the backhand, who got the initial deflection too. Now Pettersson on the end boards. Bullied to the ice by Draisaitl. Got it left corner to Miller. Centering past DiGiuseppe. Turns and fires right on, and Skinner made a great save with the glove. A couple of the best chances the Canucks have had in this second period on that sequence in the Oiler end.
And that line change you referenced almost paid dividends right off the bat as Phil DiGiuseppe goes to the front of the net. And we've been saying it for some time. Get pucks through, and Skinner will let rebounds go. And he's let 3 rebounds go in the last couple of minutes here. An excellent opportunity on the backhand for Phil DiGiuseppe. Just could not beat the Edmonton goaltender. But they got to get more pucks through, as Skinner, even now, is not the most confident goaltender.
Miller wins the draw. Oilers have their 4th line on the ice. Canucks kept their top guys out there as Hughes tries a centering pass left wing. It bounced off a skate far corner, and Desharnais lifts it off the glass just out of the zone. Glove down by Hughes, but Janmark follows up. Feeds it up the right wing. Connor Brown couldn't receive it, and Hughes at his own line mishandled the puck, but pokes it out to center for Pettersson. Gave it away to Desharnais, and Edmonton's back in possession. Vincent Desharnais, right wing to the red line, dumps it behind the Vancouver goal. Zadorov near corner, mishandled the puck, chased down by Connor Brown. Fends off the pressure, is hit hard into the end boards by Carrick. Leaves behind the goal for Hughes, banked it up the far side for DiGiuseppe. Phil DiGiuseppe, settle, left wing to center. Try to rink-wide pass. Tip to Miller on the near boards, but Pettersson's caught in the zone, so the Canucks have to wait for him to tag up. Now Mikheyev gains the blue line on left wing and dumps it in. Desharnais behind his own goal. Pressure by Mikheyev on the forecheck. Got it near side for Kulak. He flips it out to center, and it comes to Nugent Hopkins. Left wing into the Vancouver zone. He dumps it behind the net. Bluger behind his own goal. Watched by McDavid. Got it free to Mikheyev far side. Can't clear past Hyman, but keeps the puck. And chips it near side on his own. Nugent Hopkins right on him. Mikheyev has to play it deep for Myers. Gives it away to Hyman, far corner. Zach Hyman. Pinned to the boards by Philip Peroni. Comes to McDavid behind the net. Being leaned on by Mikheyev. Out the left wing side. Poke check by Myers. Mikheyev feeds the line. Ekholm holds in. But it's batted down by Mikheyev on the boards. Got it up the wall. And is able to clear it out to center so the Canucks can get a partial change. Bouchard at his own line. Passes left wing for Ekholm. Dumps it behind the Vancouver net. Hronek after it far corner. Spins it around the zone near side to go to Joshua. Protects it from Ekholm. But couldn't clear the zone. McDavid holds in. Dumps it behind the Vancouver net. Hronek's got it behind his own goal. Watched by Evander Kane. Passes near side for Tyler Myers. Myers, right wing to center for Joshua. Tips it past Ekholm into the Oilers zone. And Lindholm's after Bouchard on the forecheck. Bouchard clears it left point. Held in by Soucy. Dumped it down the boards. Gave it away to Draisaitl. He clears it off the glass. Just out to center. Joshua gloves it down. Tried to dump it back in and hit the linesman. Comes back to him. And Joshua floats it into the Oilers zone. Forechecking against Bouchard. Oilers try to clear. Garland held in. High slot, fakes a shot right circle. Centered in front of the net. Joshua couldn't tip it on. Lindholm left corner. Stick handling away from Draisaitl for Garland in front. Shoots right on target, and Skinner's there to make the save and hold on. As Evander Kane and Dakota Joshua knock each other's helmets off in a battle in front of the net. And the linesmen will get in and earn their keep with 6:26 left in the second period. Canucks starting to turn the momentum a little, but it's still 2-0 Oilers in Game 7.
And Connor Garland checking his face for damage here is that as the puck had hit him in the face, a little bit of a reach by Leon Draisaitl to try to clear the zone. Instead of knocking the puck forward, it knocks it up into the face of Connor Garland. But he doesn't quit. He's got the puck on his stick, creates, and ends up having a shot in the slot. Unfortunately, hits Skinner right in the crest.
Skinner now with 11 saves on 11 Vancouver shots. Shelov's a stop 24 of 26 at the other end of the ice. Miller, DiGiuseppe, and Pettersson are on the ice for the offensive zone faceoff, and there's an argument here because Miller wants the faceoff in the left circle. They've got them lined up in the right circle, and the officials are going to talk about it. Miller's complaining. He wants the draw on his strong side, but they're not going to let him take it there. And he's barking at the linesman, Devin Berg, but they're going to drop the puck in near boards. And Miller wins it cleanly. Right point for Quinn Hughes. Cuts down the near wall. Pushed for the boards by Fogle. Hughes spins away from the pressure. Centers for DiGiuseppe. Shoots right on. Stopped by Skinner. Rebound is cleared by Desharnais. And McLeod gets it off the glass of the line. Not out. Held in by Miller. Dumps it to the right corner. Pettersson first to it. Protecting it from Nurse. Spinning away on the wall. Got it to Miller. Below the goal line. Back to Pettersson. Right circle. His shot was tipped off a stick and wide of the net. McLeod on the far side. Hit hard by Pettersson. They both fall to the ice as he clears it into the Vancouver zone. And Hughes is back to it. Quinn Hughes. Near side for Zadorov. Right wing to the red line. Dumps it in. Canucks are changing. Hoglander goes after Kulak. Far corner on the forecheck. Trying to steal the puck. Kulak keeps it. But Lafferty's in there too. Hoglander got it free. Then Lafferty trips Kulak. This is going to be a Vancouver penalty. Ryan McLeod right wing to center. Hit by Hronek into the boards. Ian Cole back to the puck. Trying to touch it. He is able to and get the whistle. And the Oilers will have their second power play of the second period when we return. As it's Sam Lafferty being called to the box for a trip in the offensive zone. And actually they're saying it's Hoglander, so he's being brought over. And the Oilers go to the man advantage. 5:38 left in the second. Edmonton up 2-0 in Game 7 on Alpine Credits Canucks Playoff Hockey. Streaming on the Sportsnet app and along the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Max's Bakery and Deli is celebrating their sweet 75th. Come in today to enjoy a wide selection of freshly baked decadent pastries and desserts. Or if you're planning an event, let Max's Bakery and Deli cater it for you. They offer convenient delivery options too. Delight your taste buds and grab a treat at Max's Bakery and Deli, celebrating 75 years as Vancouver's ultimate sweet escape. Open daily 6:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. at 3105 Oak Street, or visit them online at maxsdeli.ca. As you gear up to support your favorite team this spring, know that your favorite Kubota equipment dealer is elevating their game too. Swing by Avenue Machinery and Douglas Lake Equipment, your trusted full-line Kubota dealers, and up your game with 0% financing and special spring deals on Kubota gear. Big or small, you'll receive the respect and support you deserve. Visit one of Avenue Machinery and Douglas Lake Equipment's 6 BC locations or explore DLEAMC.com.
The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a skilled trades worker, you might not be feeling that way right now. But in Alberta, skilled trades workers can earn more, save more, and live more with better wages and a lower cost of living. Visit albertaiscalling.ca to learn more about the $5,000 moving bonus for the first 2,000 skilled trades workers who move to Alberta, stay for a year, and successfully apply. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Hey, this is Connor Garland, and you're on the home of the Canucks. Sportsnet 650.
Jack 96.9 is playing whatever, and they're giving away tickets to every Canucks home playoff game. Tune into Jack weekday mornings for your chance to win. Just tell your smart speaker to play Jack 96.9. And a special hello to our listeners on the island tuning into Jack 103.1 Victoria. 5:38 left in the second period. Oilers lead the Canucks 2-0. Edmonton off to the power play. They have actually called Sam Lafferty for this trip instead of Niels Hoglander. Canucks win a face-off in their own zone, and Ian Cole clears it around the far boards and all the way back into the Oiler end. And I think the officials might realize that was a blown call, as Hoglander's stick was knocked out of his hands, and Kulak tripped over the discarded stick, so that's what they called the penalty for. Lafferty was engaged in the battle, but I don't think was deserving of the penalty. on second look. Oilers back into the Vancouver zone. McDavid knocked down by Cole. Dumped it to the right corner for Draisaitl. Stripped with the puck by Lindholm. Got it to the line, not out. Bouchard holds in. Right side for Draisaitl. Into the far corner for Nugent Hopkins. Carries to the top of the circle. Feeds the line for Bouchard. Left wing McDavid takes it on his backhand. Pushed to the boards by Bluger. McDavid left corner. Rims it around the zone. Nugent Hopkins has it right point. Tied up of the wall by Lindholm. Comes to Draisaitl. Now to the top of the point for Bouchard. Right wing McDavid. Winding down low to Draisaitl. Bottom of the right circle. Stick handling. Doesn't have a passing lane. Drops back to Bouchard. One-timer. Block wide of the net. Rebound Nugent Hopkins. Scores! Ryan Nugent Hopkins from the left circle snuck it past the short side on Artur Shilovs, and the Oilers get a power play goal to make it 3-0 in Game 7.
And this develops yet again after a point shot. Evan Bouchard loading up with a 93.8 mile per hour shot, which bounces off the boards and right onto the stick of Burnaby BC's Ryan Nugent Hopkins, who's battling in front of the net with Ian Cole, but once the shot goes through, he finds the puck immediately, and Artur Shilovs tries to seal the post, diving to his left, shoulder first, but Nugent Hopkins gets that shot off quicker to make it 3-0.
Nugent Hopkins scores his fourth of the playoffs to extend the Oiler lead at 15:22 of the second period. The time of the goal is brought to you by Crow, your trusted advisors for 55 years. Learn more at crowmackay.ca. And I know they've been the comeback Canucks this year, but they've dug themselves quite a hole here late in the second period. Now down 3-0 in Game 7. They dump it back into the Oilers zone. Skinner out of the net, leaves for Kulak on the end wall. Cleared at far point. Hughes just able to hold in. Dumps it behind the net for Pettersson. He missed the puck. Rolls right wing side. Zadorov protects it from Foegele. Feeds the line for DiGiuseppe. Long shot deflected by Miller, but blocked by Ceci in the slot. He got it up the near boards for Foegele. Chased back deep by DiGiuseppe. Foegele protecting the puck well. Banks it right wing to center for Derek Ryan, and he dumps it into the Vancouver end. Shilovs out of the goal to handle. Gave it away to Ryan McLeod, right corner. Pushed to the boards by Quinn Hughes. McLeod still with it. Gave it away to Pettersson below the goal line. He protects the puck on the wall. Makes a nice play to poke it out to center for Miller, who goes rink wide right wing for Joshua. Into the Oilers zone. Stops up near point. Cycles down the boards for Pettersson. Hit into the corner boards by Nurse, but got it to Miller behind the net. Miller left wing for Joshua behind the net. Out the right wing side. Feeds the line for Myers. D-to-D left point. Hughes shoots. It was tipped in front and just bounced past the near post. Nurse up the wall for Kane. Tied up by Myers. Heavy pass back to the line for Hughes again. Fakes a shot. Spins away from Draisaitl back to the line. Passes left wing for Garland off the bench. Rink wide feed to Miller. Bottom of the right circle. High slot Hughes. Waits. Shoots. It's blocked by Holloway. Garland gets it left corner. Again to Hughes of the line. Now to the right circle for Miller. Back to Myers at the point. Again to Miller down low. Slap pass across the zone to Hughes. Now to Myers. Top of the point. To Miller. Right wing circle. Turns. Shoots. It was blocked by Nurse to the far corner. Hughes is after it. Hit hard into the boards by Holloway. Garland recovers the puck. Canucks doing a good job hemming the Oilers in their own end right now, but Holloway gets it free thanks to a battle won by Desharnais, and Evander Kane banks it to the Canuck blue line. Tyler Myers back to it. Right wing feed to center, out of the reach of Garland. He tipped it free to Suter, stayed onside, nice play. Suter drops it to Garland, tried a shot, blocked by Draisaitl, and Evander Kane's got it. He'll clear it out to center. Hronek gloves it down at his own blue line. Quickly ahead for Suter. Leaves for Höglander. Into the Oilers zone. Try to pass right wing for Garland. Broken up, and Ekholm bats it back to center. McDavid tried to knock it down, but it comes to Soucy. Left wing Suter. Now to Garland. Into the Oilers zone. Spinning pass into the slot. Deflects right circle. Hronek dumps it behind the net. Höglander on the end boards. Mishandled it. Nugent Hopkins tried to clear. Garland knocked it down again. Höglander digs it free for Garland. Behind the Oilers goal. Send it loose into the crease. It's cleared to the line, and Soucy holds in with his glove. He'll dump it back right corner for Garland. Protected the puck well from Ekholm. This has been a tremendous shift from Garland as Hronek tries a shot. Tipped to the far boards by Suter. Dumped into the corner by Soucy. Bouchard has it stolen by Höglander. Niels Höglander, high slot. Hronek shoots. What a block by Nugent Hopkins. Puck deflects to the far boards. Höglander trying to protect it from Hyman. It comes to center for Soucy. Near boards, Hronek slams it back in. The Canucks get a change. They're starting to tilt the ice here. Now down by 3 goals. Some more desperation in their game.
Just need a goal here with 1 minute and 50 seconds left.
In this second period.
To get some momentum going back in their way. Some good pressure, but 4 block shots over the last 2 minutes by the Oilers.
Oman drops to Mikheyev. Left wing into the Oilers zone. High slot. Lindholm fanned on a shot. Lost the puck. Nugent Hopkins clears. And here's Warren Foegele, or rather Sam Carrick, left wing to center. He'll dump it into the Vancouver zone. Zadorov back to the puck. Hit hard into the end wall by Carrick. Puck is underneath Zadorov, who's a little slow to get up here, trying to dig it free and battle for the puck from his knees. Oman knocks down Carrick. Brown and Cole in the battle as well. It's sent free near boards. Kulak spins it back into the battle below the goal line. 1:10 left second period. Oilers up 3-0 in Game 7. Now Mikheyev gets it free near boards. Centers for Ian Cole. He'll delay in his own zone. Passes to center for Elias Lindholm, who tips it deep into the Oiler end as we enter the final minute of the second. Lindholm with a huge hit on Kulak on the forecheck. Got the puck free right corner. But Ryan McLeod's back to it for Edmonton. He'll flip it out of the zone. Janmark left wing of the red line dumps it in, and Quinn Hughes goes back to it. Chased down by Connor Brown. Hughes behind his own goal. Kicks it up the far wall. Di Giuseppe is able to get it out and back into the Oiler end. 35 seconds left in the second period. Stay tuned for Canucks Central at the intermission with Satyar Shah, Bick Nazar, and Brett Festerling. Oilers ice the puck. Officials don't call it. And so Hronek goes back to it behind the net. Has a give and go with Hughes. 25 seconds left in the period. Hronek. Far boards for Hughes. Left wing out of the zone for Pettersson. Protects it well from McLeod. Got it to the red line for Hughes. Driving into the Oilers zone. Tried to dump it in. Desharnais blocked it. And then it's batted back to center by Derek Ryan. Hronek in his own zone. Bobbling the puck. Chased down by McDavid. Hronek knocked him to the ice as he got tangled up. And now Hughes flips it to the Oiler blue line. 5 seconds left in the period. It rolls deep. Nurse will take it into the corner. And that'll do it for the middle frame. A period in which the Oilers took complete control of Game 7. They score twice at even strength. Goals by Cody Ceci, and now the second one credited to Zach Hyman. And then Ryan Nugent-Hopkins scored on the power play, and it's 3-0 Edmonton after 40 minutes tonight at Rogers Arena.
And it was really about the opening of that period. In the first 5 or 6 minutes, Edmonton applying pressure, stacking shifts, and really putting the Canucks under pressure. And really, when that happens, you start getting tired. You start maybe sagging back a little bit. That's exactly what happened on the Cody Ceci goal. A little bit later on in the period, they take a penalty through Sam Lafferty, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins makes it 3-0. It's going to be quite the hill to climb here in the third period. But the Canucks have been a resilient bunch. This is their biggest test yet.
Oilers up 3-0 after 2 in Game 7, and it's time for Canucks Central at the intermission with Satyar Shah, Bick Nazar, and Brett Festerling.
This is Canucks Central at the intermission on the official home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Draisaitl, bottom of the right circle. Stick handling. Doesn't have a passing lane. Drops back to Bouchard. One-timer block wide of the net. Rebound Nugent-Hopkins. Scores! Ryan Nugent-Hopkins from the left circle snuck it past the short side on Artur Shilovs, and the Oilers get a power play goal to make it 3-0 in Game 7.
Canucks trail the Edmonton Oilers 3-0 through 40 minutes, and this is Canucks Central at the intermission on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network. Satyar Shah, Brett Festerling, and Bick Nazar. And as always, get your thoughts into our Dunbar Lumber text inbox 650-650. And boy, oh boy, are there a lot of messages, a lot of frustration and anger from Canucks fans as their team is being heavily outplayed in the seventh game of a best-of-7 series in the second round between the Canucks and the Oilers, being outshot 27-12, outscored 3-0, outplayed completely. And the Canucks were making a little bit of a push there in the third to try to get at least one goal. In the second, try to get at least one goal late. But they can't beat Stuart Skinner. So it's a bit twofold. For as bad as Stuart Skinner's been through the postseason, tonight he's making all the saves that he's seeing so far. And all the other shots that are coming through are either getting blocked or they're missing the net. And the Canucks don't have anything to show for it here tonight.
So far, the Canucks have 28 shots blocked or missing the net, 12 ultimately on goal. But even those are from distance. Getting to that middle of the ice, which is something they prevented other teams doing so well through the season and through the playoffs. They're having their own challenges with that so far in this game.
Yeah, a lot of pucks seem to be dying in the crust that actually make it to the net, not into pads or creating kind of second chances or opportunities. Not a lot there in front of them.
It's frustrating too because I know Rick Tocchet's mentioned this levels as far as their layers, as far as their offense. Too many times though, it looks like two guys are just on the post. And it's three guys trying to create all the space, all the angles, and it's one D-man fronting those two guys, and it's basically 3-on-4 up high.
Yeah, and they're not getting anything through. All the shots are being blocked through it as well. And so far in this game, if you look at it game plan-wise, Edmonton is executing to a T. The Canucks aren't executing at all. And the neutral zone battle is still going in Edmonton's favor. A bit better in the second from the Canucks. I mean, they only had 2 shots in the first. They had 10 in the second period. So obviously better, but you're still being outshot heavily in this game. I am a bit surprised about how lackluster Vancouver's been in this game. I thought at least, with the matchup, with the game plans, I thought they would be able to create a bit more space. They haven't had almost any space here. And the space they got was when Edmonton's enjoying a 2-goal lead and a 3-goal lead, and obviously at that point, they're not going to be as aggressive chasing the puck.
Yeah, and you've noticed when we talked about this in the first intermission, how high the Edmonton D-men were and compressing that neutral zone and able to control any speed what Vancouver is trying to generate. So you're up 3 goals, something you can pull off that blue line, just make sure nothing gets behind you. And yeah, the entries look a bit easier and you get some zone time, but it's not threatening because everything's just being kept in front of the Oilers.
Yeah, Edmonton really dictated the pace there. They were able to use that 200 feet, right? And then they got exactly like you said, D up, really shorten that gap, not allow Canucks to really go through the neutral zone at all, and it was almost the opposite for the Canucks. Really, they couldn't penetrate 150 feet probably, and then everybody's pushed back into their zone, and Edmonton has it. Yeah, Canucks showed a little sign of life around the 6-minute mark. We got some good shifts from guys like PDG and Lafferty, but again, Skinner was there to make stops, and Edmonton's in the driver's seat.
They have been. All right, let's break down the goals. 3 goals by Edmonton in that second frame, and it started off with a Cody Ceci point shot getting through. Kulak and Holloway getting the assist on it. I don't know if there was much to say about this play. Ceci shoots it. It looks like Shilovs has a bit of a beat on it. I'm not sure he tracks it fully, but it goes in, and that's one of a couple point shots that ends up beating him here.
To me, this even goes before the face-off, though. It's an icing by Tyler Myers, right? We're talking about just someone's got to inject some composure into this game. You look at a veteran player, look, he's under duress and he just puts it off the glass and down the ice. But when no one's making plays, opportunity is going to get created for the Oilers for offensive zone faceoffs, and they convert on this one.
Yeah, and you see Beluga and I believe Lafferty against McDavid and Drysdale, right? That creates the havoc. There's a mismatch coming off of that short power play to start the second. Mismatch, get tired, off the glass, and then you have an icing.
Yeah, and next thing you know, Cody Ceci shot beats you down 2-0, 1-0. Now, Dakota Joshua takes a penalty, and you thought, okay, now Edmonton's power play is going to get going, make it 2-0. And the Canucks, well, they had a few shots. Shilovs made a great save. There was one on Draisaitl, he robs him. Now Cole gets a piece of it on the cross, on the shot, and slows it down a bit. But another great save from Artur Shilovs to keep it a 1-goal game. But a bit later on, this time it's Evan Bouchard, and his name has been predominant throughout this series. Another magnificent game from Bouchard here in this Game 7 between the Canucks and the Oilers, and he gets a shot that beats Shilovs, but does it get tipped by Zach Hyman?
Yeah, it's been changed now to Zach Hyman, his 11th goal of playoffs, and look, he makes a living at the net front. That's why he's got 11. That's why he scored 50 this year. It just bodies in the way, and they're just slow to close out on it. And it's their 10th goal from a D-man this series for Edmonton, and they've managed to get production there.
Yeah, Bouchard does a nice little curl and drag. He's so offensive. You see that. There's a mismatch in front with Hyman, right? He gets Suter. Normally you'd have a D-man there that's trying to box out, get sticks. It ends up Suter trying to front it. Hyman kind of gets a stick around and just changes direction. Might be 2 inches, but it gets under Shilov's blocker.
I wonder, too, if Shilov's going to be looking over the left shoulder towards his near post, and that back post looks so open. Even if Hyman doesn't get a stick on that, I'm not sure if Shilovs is getting there. It's just those moments where here's this young goalie learning the tricks of the trade. Does he get his eyes on the wrong side of Zach Hyman?
Yeah, I think maybe partly of that, and it's hard to blame him because the Edmonton's was so dominant for the first half of this game that eventually they were going to score, and they get their second goal. And the Canucks started creating a little bit. Lafferty had a chance off the rush. The Pettersson line, they had PDG swap with Mikheyev. They had a couple of shifts where PDG had a rebound chance. He had a shot that Skinner made a glove save on. They made a little bit of a push, but then they take a bad penalty. Sam Lafferty, 200 feet from his own end. And hey, I know refs don't want to call penalties, but if you put a stick on a guy and he trips over in front of the official, those are kind of the calls they have to make. And that's where Edmonton's power play goes to work. And hey, the Canucks did a great job through 2 games and 2.5 and a period and a half to keep Edmonton's power play off the scoreboard. But eventually they break through, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins makes it 3-0.
And it just felt like the spirit was starting to break a little bit, because even on this play, there's tons of time for Draisaitl and McDavid to just kind of stand there and work around, and it just ends up being a long shot from Bouchard. Goes after the backboards, falls perfectly to Nugent-Hopkins, who's got the left shot to get it quickly off the wall, and he just beats Shilovs to the near post. But just in general, it started to look like the will of the team for the Canucks started to melt a little bit there.
Yeah, it was a bit of a dagger to take a penalty when they were starting to get a little momentum, right? And then you could tell the ref probably didn't want to call that one. It was the old stick in the spokes kind of thing. Stick gets knocked out of the hand. It's an obvious call. And I think Lindy actually might get a little tip on this, tip it wide behind, and then goes to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Shelovs make a valiant effort to get there. It's just too quick and too good. You can't give him that opportunity that late in the second.
You can, and Edmonton makes it 3-0, and the Canucks, a little bit of a push late in the period, aren't able to beat Stuart Skinner, and it is 3-0 through the first 40 minutes of this game. And what's frustrating a lot of fans, like this text message here says, I'm totally okay with losing another Game 7 if we actually show up, but this is terrible. Where's the want to win, the want to own? Where is that? And I think that's been the most disappointing thing. Edmonton in Game 6, they brought the energy, right? The Canucks, well, I thought they grew into it after the first. They took over, dominated the second half of that game. Tonight, I wouldn't call it a no-show, but you can't fault fans for being disappointed for what they've seen from the Canucks in this game.
It just looks tense.
Very tense.
More than anything,
it seems like the moment's too big for the team right now.
Yeah, there was a chance. I think PDG swept a puck behind the net, or it was off his shot, and Miller and Pettersson both go for the same puck, and you can see them both pull up. No, someone has to go command that puck. Like, I understand you're both going to be there first, but someone just go through your own guy. I don't care, but someone's got to be willing to say, hey, this moment is mine. And that, to me, it's not even just that it's a fourth liner, it's those two guys. And to their credit, I think they played okay. They haven't been at fault for anything, but that, to me, is just a moment. It's like, that's where I see the tension, the Myers icing, all these little micro moments you go through this game, and you can feel like these opportunities are just passing them by.
Yeah, very reactive, right? They're not necessarily dictating any of those plays. They're reacting to what's happened. Oilers have done a good job of dictating their style and playing their game, and that's just put the Canucks on the back foot, and you can just tell people are having a hard time getting on that front foot, getting aggressive, trying to read plays before they happen instead of reacting to them.
That's the word, aggressive. You watch the Oilers in the D zone, it is aggressive. It just looks like they have three bodies everywhere. Anywhere the puck is, there's one guy there and two more just kind of swarming, pushing it to areas where they're comfortable with, and you can be aggressive. It just looks tough for them to get out of the corners. And you think, well, there's three guys in the corner, you get one puck away, can they start getting shot off? Well, you're fighting the puck the whole evening. Dakota Joshua, for me, is on exits, has had all sorts of issues. It's been really, really tough for them.
Well, and I think it's oversimplifying things perhaps, but right now Edmonton's want has just been so much greater in this game. Look at the battles, and hey, maybe part of it is game plan, and once the game is over, we can really dissect what went right, what went wrong, a lot going wrong for Vancouver, and did the coaching staff get it right, so to speak. But right now Edmonton just, I think, has more compete, and maybe
well, the speed is really evident. Well, the speed differential is really evident right now.
Is that having the experience in some of these moments for Edmonton team? They've struggled in the playoffs in the past, but they have some experience. Right now, the Canucks just seem like the moment just has been too big for them.
Yeah, well, I think, one, they do have experience. Two, they're coming off a do and die. They're already in that mindset from last game. And then, like we said, they've been aggressive. They wanted to play on their toes on the front foot. Even the D-men, how many times have we seen Ekholm or Bouchard or Ceci not letting Vancouver get that red line to not even get a deep or get a change, where Canucks have tried to go east-west, it's turned over and they come back down your throat. So they've just really dictated the play.
They really have. A lot of reaction and frustration on the text inbox. This one here says, 2011 Game 7 PTSD, guys. That's how they're feeling about this one here. This one says, pretty damn close to a no-show. Where's Hughes? Where's Petey? Brutal. Jay and Poco, it's embarrassing. This is the effort the Canucks are putting forth in a Game 7 at home. And a lot of the same sentiment being echoed here on the text inbox. Just a lot of frustration. I mean, part of me wants to say, hey, it's 3-0. The Canucks have come back from a 3-goal deficit in this series in Game 1 already. It's different in today's National Hockey League. But are you showing enough signs that you can bank on a comeback? And I think that's where you can maybe talk yourself into feeling like you have a chance in the third. And they do. I mean, we've seen teams come back from it. But do the Canucks look threatening enough to be able to come back from a 3-goal deficit?
We kind of went through their chances in that second period, and their best chances fall to Sam Lafferty and Phil Giuseppe. No disrespect,
and those ones, Pettersson shot, he missed the net. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Zadorov misses the net on a chance, and like Sam Lafferty gets that chance, and he's moving Skinner left to right, and it's in flight, in transition, but he kind of just skates it right into him.
And the best straight-on look they had was Connor Garland with a shot from the slot. And again, Garland, the shot from the slot isn't the most dangerous release.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to elaborate more on that. They just haven't, those big players haven't had those big moments in this game, and the guys that have had chances are guys that you want to be your support players, not necessarily carrying the load here. So it needs to be a lot more desperate in the third, and you need those top guys to empty the tanks and get desperate as well.
Can the Canucks have an incredible comeback? We're hoping to see it. Batcher ran deep with a third period call. That's next on the home of your Canucks, Sportsnet 650.
On a team, the guys scoring are just as important as the guys stopping the other side from doing the same. That's how the West Coast Auto Group has built their elite team. At West Coast Toyota, Mazda, Nissan, Kia, and Ford Lincoln, the cars are the offense, and their great service department is the defense, preventing breakdowns and keeping you in the game. Elite from top to bottom. The West Coast Auto Group, just over the bridge in Maple Ridge. Visit them online at westcoautautogroup.com.
As you gear up to support your favorite team this spring, know that your favorite Kubota equipment dealer is elevating their game too. Swing by Avenue Machinery and Douglas Lake Equipment, your trusted full-line Kubota dealers, and up your game with 0% financing and special spring deals on Kubota gear. Big or small, you'll receive the respect and support you deserve. Visit one of Avenue Machinery and Douglas Lake Equipment's 6 BC locations or explore DLEAMC.com.
The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a skilled trades worker, you might not be feeling that way right now. But in Alberta, skilled trades workers can earn more, save more, and live more with better wages and a lower cost of living. Visit albertaiscalling.ca to learn more about the $5,000 moving bonus for the first 2,000 skilled trades workers who move to Alberta, stay for a year, and successfully apply. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
I have super-powered debt consolidation and human-powered rhymes. I met a homeowner. His name was Brett. He had a few bills, but don't you fret. Home equity loans is my skill set. Consolidating bills, that's what you get.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Need gifts for the techie dad who has it all? The foodie dad craving something new? Or even the sporty, stylish dad? TSC has everything you need. With top Father's Day gifts that'll make dad smile all year long. Save up to 25% on a hand-picked collection of tech, fashion, kitchenware, grooming, barbecues, and more. And split your purchases into 9 interest-free easy pay payments. For gifts on every dad's list. Shop exciting offers every day at tsc.ca.
Navigating the seas of business, the waves can be unpredictable and overwhelming. Stay on course with Crow's trusted advisors. From startups to seasoned enterprises, Crow offers advice that protects and strategies that succeed. Because every smart decision begins with expert advice. Visit crowmackay.ca to learn more. Crow, smart decisions, lasting value.
You have a vision for your new project. Now you need to figure out the rest. That's where Tiletown comes in. Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, Tiletown has everything you need for your tiling project. Great quality in-stock tile, free design and consultation, do-it-yourself supplies, and their Schluter certified staff have the knowledge to help you with your project. Make that vision a reality at Tiletown in Victoria, Richmond, Langley, and online at mytiletown.ca.
Happy birthday, dear Nana. Happy birthday.
No, the cake!
Life is full of surprises, and TSC is there to help you make the most of the journey. I'll grab the KitchenAid and the Bissell. With exciting offers every day on time-saving brands and products that keep you smiling.
Oh, wait, you made a new cake that fast?
Oh, it's a backup. But don't worry, honey. I'll carry this one. For moments made to last, shop exciting offers every day at tsc.ca.
This is Alpine Credits Canucks Playoff Hockey. On the official home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back inside Rogers Arena. Brendan Batchelor and Randeep Jando with you. Canucks have one period to save their season, trailing the Oilers 3-0 after 40 minutes as we get set to go to the third. And they did some good things late in that second, Randeep, in terms of generating chances. They've just got to test Stuart Skinner a whole lot more than they have. Only 12 shots through 2 periods.
Got to get pucks on net. Got to create rebounds. You got to leave everything in the ice here in the third period. This is a team that you get that first one. You don't overthink it. Get that first one. Build some momentum. And one thing is for sure, Stuart Skinner hasn't allowed a goal, but he hasn't been the most comfortable with those rebounds. So you got to make sure that you get to the middle of the ice and look for those rebounds, get that first one, and then build from there.
Canucks in blue will go from right to left in the third. The Oilers in white will skate from left to right. It's McDavid and Miller to take the draw. And Miller wins it cleanly. Back to Tyler Myers. In his own zone, banks it right wing to center for Pettersson. Dumps it into the Edmonton end off a stick. Miller in on the forecheck. Gets McDavid into the corner boards. Puck comes behind the net to Bouchard. Far side Nugent Hopkins tried to clear. Myers held it in. Carries behind the Edmonton net. Out the left wing side. Feeds the line for Soucy. Long shot. Tipped it. Deflected wide of the net. I think it was Miller that got a piece of it. And he's after it in the left corner. Played it to Soucy at the line. Out of the right point, Myers holds onto the puck. Heading into the slot. Low shot blocked by Nugent Hopkins. Myers pokes it to the left wing corner. Bouchard back to it. Gets it off the glass for Hyman, who gave it away to Soucy at center, and he sweeps it back into the Oiler end. Canucks will change. Matthias Ekholm takes it behind his own goal. Taking his time with the puck. As the Oilers swing deep on the breakout. Ekholm banks it left wing for Derek Ryan of the Vancouver line. Dumps it in behind the Canuck net. Zadorov back to it. Gets it up the near side for Connor Garland. Backhand pass just rolled out over the blue line. Now he feeds it right wing for Ian Cole. Into the Edmonton zone. Dumps it right corner. Lindholm's after Desharnais on the forecheck. Hits him into the end boards, but McLeod plays it free for Fogle. And he'll fire it deep into the Canucks zone. A slow roller, not heavy enough for icing. It rolls in on Shilovs, and he's got to cover it at the top of the crease. 1:18 into the third period. It's Edmonton 3 and Vancouver 0 in Game 7.
And there is not much urgency for the Edmonton Oilers in this third period. Matthias Ekholm taking his sweet time behind his own net on that last play just to ease everything down. And this is something that Ekholm was talking about, saying earlier on in the series, the Oilers could have done a better job of protecting leads, not really pushing so much, where just trying to slow down the pace. The Canucks are going to have to play through that and be urgent, bring an urgency to this third period.
Holloway and Lindholm on the face-off of the Vancouver zone. Far circle to our right. And Lindholm wins it back to Garland. He'll go behind his own net for Quinn Hughes. The script for this third period for the Canucks, if they can execute it, will be get one. At the very least, the earlier the better, and then you got a chance to at least pull your goaltender late and see if you can create some more 6-on-5 playoff magic. Niels Oman passes to center for Teddy Bluger, gains the red line, dumps it into the Oiler end. Kulak trying to clear, fanned on it, it rolls to the goal, and Skinner turns it near corner. Mikheyev left wing, dumps it behind the Edmonton net. Evander Kane back to it. Hit hard down low by Oman, puck rolls behind the goal. Bluger chips it free left wing, Zadorov holds in. Dumped it to the corner, gloved down by Ceci, but found by Bluger. Left wing corner, sharp angle shot went through the crease out the far side. Hronek holds in right point with a long shot, bounced off a skate in front. Comes to Dylan Holloway on the near side, and he'll take his time banking it right wing for Evander Kane, who deflects it deep into the Vancouver end. Nikita Zadorov, far corner. Hit by Kane, but got it free to Elias Pettersson. Pettersson protected the puck, chased behind his own net by Connor Brown. Drops it far corner for Hronek. He'll delay in his own end. Hronek with a pass to Pettersson, right wing, into the Edmonton zone. Pushed to the corner by Nurse. Puck rolls behind the Oiler goal. Desharnais is back to it. Center for Janmark, he got it out to center. Hughes at his own line. Quickly up the near side for Miller. Couldn't take the pass off his skates, and Connor Brown dumps it back into the Canuck end as the Let's Go Petey chants continued. And re-emerge after the memorable night in Game 5. Here's Janmark, right corner, spinning in the Vancouver zone. Drops to Connor Brown, centering pass deflected to the side of the net, and Shilovs covers up and gets the whistle. 2:58 elapsed in the third period of Game 7. It's the Oilers 3 and the Canucks 0.
And the Oilers are more than content just to flip the puck out of the zone right now. There's been one-and-done attacks from Vancouver. No shots on goal here in the third period through about 3 minutes of play. And with Edmonton, they're confident about winning those puck battles in the neutral zone and leading to an attack or at the very least possession. So the Canucks are going to have to make sure that they get that forecheck going and start winning some battles in the offensive zone.
Niels Höglander was out on a shift with Miller and Pettersson on that last sequence. It was Di Giuseppe that took the first shift of the period with those guys. Myers to center, gets it right wing to Garland, into the Oilers zone. Wide on the boards, makes a bank play to himself in the corner. Dumps it behind the Oiler net, it rolls left wing side. Soucy activates from the line and plays it deep. And McDavid leaves behind his own goal for Ekholm. He'll clear it up the far boards. Nugent Hopkins tried to center, was knocked down by Myers. McDavid gets it out to center. He was hit by Joshua. Now Hyman collides with Soucy, gets it to McDavid, left wing to the Vancouver goal, trying to cut to the front of the net. Nice poke check by Shilovs. And Dakota Joshua lifts it to center. Canucks will change. Matthias Ekholm again, content to take the puck behind his own goal and waste a few seconds off the clock. Ekholm still with it behind his own net. Oiler wingers will swing deep again. Ekholm passes near side for Ryan McLeod. Banks it past JT Miller out to center. Derek Ryan, right wing at the red line, dumps it in. Shelovs leaves his crease for Hronek behind the net. Near corner, Quinn Hughes. Pressured by Derek Ryan. Fanned on a pass up the wall, and Ryan's got it behind the Canuck net. Hughes knocks it off his stick of the wall and will skate free up the far side. Quinn Hughes, left wing to center for JT Miller. Makes a move into the Oilers zone, but was poke checked by Ceci. It rolls back to center. Here's Dylan Holloway after it, left wing, chance for a 2-on-1. Holloway, far circle, toe drag, sent it to the back post. It was out of the reach of Fogle, but he recovers it on the end board, then had his stick lifted by Hronek, but Holloway's in after it. Oilers winning puck battles all over the ice right now. Canucks have to up their intensity here with 15 minutes left in their season if they can't score 3 times. Fans trying to urge them on. Hughes behind his own goal, flips it to the line. Holloway holds in. Canucks have been hemmed in here. Now Hughes knocks it out of the zone. He's exhausted, couldn't get to the puck, but DiGiuseppe's got it left wing and dumps it into the Oilers zone. Höglander right wing. Carries to the corner, pinned to the end boards by Desharnais. Suter, left wing side, dumps it back behind the net to Ian Cole, right point. Holds in on his backhand. Goes down the far wall for Höglander. Spinning away from Draisaitl on the boards. Nice move by Höglander. Holds onto the puck, try to centering feed. Deflected to Holloway. He'll throw it left wing to center, and Zadorov goes back to it in his own zone. Just over 5 minutes gone, third period. Oilers up 3-0 in Game 7. Cole tips it deep into the Edmonton end. Höglander left corner. Trying to protect the puck on the boards. Suter in to help out. It comes free to Ian Cole. Cole at the line. Backhand pass for Lafferty. High slot. Mishandled the puck. Here's Sam Carrick back to center. And on the left wing, he'll dump it into the Vancouver end. Ian Cole on the end boards. Tied up by Connor Brown on the forecheck. Zadorov gets it free in front of his own goal. And he'll carry it to center himself. Left wing for Mikheyev to the Oiler line. Dumps it past Bouchard. And goes after Nurse on the forecheck. Mikheyev on the end boards. Trying to poke it free in front. It couldn't get to Niels Oman driving the net. And it's flipped clean over the glass and out of play on the near side by Connor Brown for the Oilers. So the Canucks will get a chance here. 5:47 into the third period, down 3-0. They'll go to their third power play of the game. They're 0 for 2 thus far.
And if there was ever a moment to get back into this game, now would be it. As Connor Brown feels the pressure from Sam Lafferty and just flips the puck out of this playing surface there. So this is an excellent opportunity for the power play. Didn't work earlier on where they didn't even have a shot attempt on the 4-minute power play. A shot on goal. Well, they got to get it right now, Batch, with the season on the line.
Miller, Garland, Lindholm, Hughes, and Pettersson on the ice for the power play for the Canucks. Desharnais, Nugent Hopkins, Ekholm, and Ryan for the Oilers, and it's Ryan and Miller to contest the faceoff. Left circle in the Edmonton end. And a slight delay here, I think, as they get something corrected with the clock. And now they will drop it in. Miller and Ryan, left wing circle. Scrambled face-off. Comes free to Ryan Nugent Hopkins, and he'll dump it past Pettersson to the Vancouver blue line. Quinn Hughes back to it, chased down by Nugent Hopkins, keeps the puck, spins deep in his own zone. And now leaves for Pettersson at his own blue line. Here's Elias Pettersson, right wing for Garland. Into the Oilers zone, made a move around Ryan, lost the puck, then knocks down Ekholm on the boards, but Nugent Hopkins clears to center. Hughes knocks it down to the red line. Canucks will try to transition quickly. Pettersson dumps it in on the left wing. JT Miller meets it right boards, protected the puck from Fogle. Leaves back at the line for Hughes. Left circle Lindholm. Again to Hughes with room, high slot. Right wing Miller. Settles, centering pass, tipped away for Garland. Rolled to the front of the goal, and Pettersson couldn't scoop it home. I think Skinner held it out off the left pad, and the Oilers cleared all the way back down.
And Pettersson got a decent look, just whacked at the puck, but good positioning by Skinner to turn it away.
Now here is Pettersson, left wing of the red line. Delaying, drops to Garland with speed into the Oilers zone, trying to make a move in traffic, lost the puck, and Warren Fogle clears it back down the ice again.
And that's always going to be a difficult proposition, skating into 3 Edmonton Oilers, trying to get that entry. Easy play for them to clear.
Now Pettersson skates through the center ice circle. Makes a move left wing into the Oilers zone, holding onto the puck, dumps it behind the net. Miller after it right wing side, tipped it middle of the ice. Lindholm missed it. It comes to Pettersson, high slot. Back to Hughes of the line. Now to Elias Pettersson, left circle, sent it to the back door. Tipped wide of the net by Lindholm, bottom of the right circle. Lindholm passes back to Pettersson. Left wing hash marks. Passes across the zone. It's tipped off a stick. Miller can't hold into the line. He's got to bring it back to center. Goes left wing for Hughes, who brought it in, but it's offside. Joshua was caught deep. 31 seconds left in the Canuck power play. 7:15 elapsed in the third period. The Oilers lead Game 7, 3-0.
And Elias Lindholm had a great opportunity, but before that, Elias Pettersson battling in front of the net with Desharnais and a left pad save by Skinner. Right after that, Pettersson plays facilitator to Elias Lindholm, and he can't get his stick cleanly on the puck. Good cross-ice feed, the back door, but Lindholm just could not connect.
Miller and Hughes will stay out with Suter, Joshua, and Garland on what will be the modified second power play unit here. 31 seconds left in the man advantage. Miller and Nugent Hopkins on the draw outside the Oiler blue line near boards to our left. Miller trying to win it forward on his forehand, but Nugent Hopkins dumps it back on Shelovs, who blocks it top of the crease and will leave for Quinn Hughes. Hughes. Right wing to center, leaves for Connor Garland. Left wing for Suter, back to Garland into the Oilers zone, tied up by Nugent Hopkins, and the Canucks are called offside now with just 15 seconds left in this crucial third period man advantage. Vancouver trying to get on the board and cut into the 3-goal Oiler lead.
And they've had one shot on goal on this power play, one shot on goal in this period. The entries have been difficult for this team. Last 2 plays, 2 offsides, but you got to make sure that you break the plane there at the blue line and set up possession. This is the time to get shots on goal, and unfortunately this team can't get them through right now.
Miller wins it forward for Suter. Right wing into the Oilers zone, dumps it to the end boards. Pettersson's after Ceci on the forecheck. Threw it up the far wall. Miller gets it free to the line for Hronek. Holds in left point Hughes. Long slap shot blocked in front. Rebound for Suter. Got it through on goal, and Skinner makes a save again. Now just 2 seconds left in Connor Brown's penalty.
And the Oilers fans in the arena giving Stuart Skinner a little bit of applause there, but he's had to make 2 saves on this power play, both in tight, this time on Pius Suter. And Suter has a bit of a look, but Darnell Nurse does a good job of getting in front of that shot and taking away really the angle on any corner. So any shot going through is going to hit Stuart Skinner right in the middle of the sweater.
Oilers win the face-off. Ceci clears it down the ice. Brown is out of the box, and the Canucks are 0 for 3 on the power play here in Game 7. Trailing the Oilers 3-0, nearly 8 minutes into the third period. Quinn Hughes. Left wing to center for Suter. Tips it behind the Oiler net. Miller's after it on the forecheck. Goes right corner for Höglander. Protected the puck on his backhand. Höglander spinning down low. Feeds the line for Myers. Left point Hughes. Down the wall for Miller. Back to Hughes. Long shot through traffic. Blocked by McDavid to the far corner. And Draisaitl bats it out to center for Hyman, who missed the puck. Hughes has it at his own line. Quinn Hughes spinning deep. It's going to be interesting to see how much the Canucks' top guns play here in the final 11 and a half minutes of the third period. With their season on the line, we've already seen a healthy dose of the likes of Hughes and Miller thus far in this third period. Now here's Myers left wing into the Oilers zone. Backhand shot deflected. Rolled to the top of the crease, but Ryan McLeod clears it, and now he'll carry out to center. McLeod accelerating to the Vancouver line. Middle of the ice, right circle. Holloway shoots. Blocked by Bluger. Came back to Holloway. Through it to the goal. Stopped by Shelovs. And Soucy clears it to the near corner. He's pinned to the boards by Evander Kane. McLeod gets it free. Behind the Canuck net. Again, poke check by Soucy. Myers far corner. Leaned on by Holloway. Gets it ahead to Bluger, who was chopped down by Kane as he cleared the zone. And Nurse has it at his own line. Quickly ahead for Holloway. Back into the Vancouver zone. Leaves right circle. Evander Kane tried a shot. Blocked by Zadorov to the corner. He finishes his check on Kane down low. But Holloway's got it behind the Canuck net. Dylan Holloway. Stick handling on the end boards. Feeds right point for Desharnais. D-to-D left side for Nurse. Long shot. Sails wide into the near corner. And Elias Lindholm gets it for the Canucks. For Dakota Joshua. Left wing to the Oiler line. Dumps it in, but it deflects over the glass. And out of play. 9:27 elapsed in the third period. It's Edmonton 3 and Vancouver 0 in Game 7 at Rogers Arena. On Alpine Credits Canucks playoff hockey on Sportsnet 650 on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a skilled trades worker, you might not be feeling that way right now. But in Alberta, skilled trades workers can earn more, save more, and live more with better wages and a lower cost of living. Visit albertaiscalling.ca to learn more about the $5,000 moving bonus for the first 2,000 skilled trades workers who move to Alberta. Stay for...
Hey, Insiders! Hey, you! Yeah, you! I'm talking to you, the one that hasn't subscribed yet. I know, there's like 70% of you guys that watch these games, listen to these games, and don't hit that subscribe button. Come on, it's free. Hit that subscribe button and let's help this community grow and continue to get bigger and better and bring more sports content every single day. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get this party back in action. Back to the hockey.
It's playoff time across BC, and Angry Otter Liquor is thrilled to rally with hockey fans on the road to the Cup. Score big at Angry Otter Liquor, your ultimate hockey headquarters. Ice-cold game day beer, spirits for every level of team spirit, and snacks to fuel your victory celebrations. Explore game day essentials with Angry Otter Liquor and celebrate every win with the perfect drink. You don't have to be a member, but it pays to be one. Learn more at angryotterliquor.crs.
Hey, this is JT Miller, and you're on the home of the Canucks.
Canucks with the draw. Miller scores right off the faceoff. He rips it top shelf.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
You're listening to Alpine Credits Canucks Playoff Hockey on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network. Own your home. Alpine Credits can get your loan approved. Alpine Credits homeowners get approved. Visit alpinecredits.ca. 9:27 elapsed in the third period. It's the Oilers 3 and the Canucks nothing in Game 7 from Rogers Arena. A spot in the Western Conference Final against the Dallas Stars on the line, and the Canucks running out of time. Face off of the Oiler blue line, controlled by Edmonton. Ceci threw it to center. Zadorov gets it and dumps it back in. Skinner out of the goal to handle. He's behind his own net for Kulak, hit into the near side corner boards by Dakota Joshua, and Zadorov holds into the line. Ceci back to it. Into the wall by Lindholm. Joshua trying to dig it free. He's pushed to the boards by Sam Carey. Now Lindholm gets it loose behind the Oiler net, driving out front. Had the puck top of the crease. It hopped over his stick. Then he wins a battle with Janmark right corner. Lindholm behind the Oiler net, lost the puck. Carrick on the near side, pushed to the boards by Lindholm. Couldn't clear. Hard-working shift from this Lindholm, Joshua, and Garland line. Ceci on the end boards. Pinned to the wall by Lindholm. Comes loose to Joshua right corner. He feeds the line for Ian Cole. Cole banks it back far side for Lindholm. Threw it to the crease. It's blocked in front. Rebound for Garland in the slot. Kulak blocked that too. Garland trying to pass back to the line. It gets past Zadorov, and he's got to chase it back into his own end.
The Oilers doing a great job of getting in shooting lane. 16 block shots in this game. Key one there by Kulak.
JT Miller deep in his own zone. Now into the final 10 minutes of the third period. Oilers up 3-0 in Game 7. Myers, right wing, into the Oilers zone. Back to Pettersson, far corner. Feeds the line for Myers. Try to shot through traffic. Tipped off Hyman, stick to the corner. Miller gets it bottom of the left circle. Back to Myers. High slot, wrist shot. Blocked by McDavid. Myers holds in. Dumps it back to the corner. DiGiuseppe's after Bouchard. Nugent Hopkins gets it free and clears it to the Canuck blue line. Soucy back to the puck, takes it behind his own net, chased out the far side by Hyman. Went up the boards for Tyler Myers. Rink-wide pass near side for Teddy Bluger. He pokes it past Bouchard into the Oilers zone. Hoglander on the forecheck, gets it free for Bluger. Shot from the near side, gloved and held by Stuart Skinner. With 8:57 left in the third period, Canucks season on the line, trailing the Oilers 3-0 in Game 7 on Alpine Credits Canucks Playoff Hockey on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Treat yourself to something tasty anytime at Max's Bakery and Deli. For breakfast, enjoy decadent pastries and, of course, coffee. For lunch, soup, salads, and sandwiches are seriously tasty favorites. And for lunch or dinner, Max's Deli case is stocked with 60 freshly made meals and savories. Eat at a cozy table or take it with you. Grab a treat at Max's Bakery and Deli, Vancouver's ultimate sweet escape. Open daily 6:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. at 3105 Oak Street. Online at maxsdeli.ca.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
The Prestons are a hockey family. Growing kids need food, and food needs a proper kitchen. I was sent by Alpine Credits to help with a home renovation loan. I introduced these young athletes to my superhero strength protein diet. Just consult your doctor before eating 300 eggs a day. Plenty of room in that new kitchen, though.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
As you gear up to support your favorite team this spring, know that your favorite Kubota equipment dealer is elevating their game too. Swing by Avenue Machinery and Douglas Lake Equipment, your trusted full-line Kubota dealers, and up your game with 0% financing and special spring deals on Kubota gear. Big or small, you'll receive the respect and support you deserve. Visit one of Avenue Machinery and Douglas Lake Equipment's 6 BC locations or explore DLEAMC.com.
Hey, this is JT Miller, and you're on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650.
Make sure to stay tuned after the game for the Canucks Central postgame show. Satyar Shah, Vic Nazar, and Brett Festerling will take your calls and texts. They'll chat with Ian McIntyre. You'll hear Rick Tockett's postgame presser and much more right here on your home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network. 8:57 left in the third period of Game 7. Oilers lead the Canucks 3-0. And Edmonton controls off a face-off in its own end. Sam Carrick to center, try to pass left wing. Warren Foegele missed it and went offside of the Canuck blue line.
The Canucks are going to have to break through here as Edmonton now more than content, essentially sitting back when they have the puck, taking time off the clock. We've seen Ekholm do that a couple of times, but they're fine just getting the puck forward and pushing a little bit here. The Canucks still at 14 shots on goal. You need to get them through. Stuart Skinner's had a pretty easy game here.
Only 4 shots in this third period.
Absolutely.
And now Garland's getting a turn with Pettersson and Miller. Canucks trying everything here in the third period. Hronek, left wing to center for Pettersson, dumps it behind the Oiler net. Skinner out of the goal to handle. Leaves near corner for Desharnais. Centering pass, McLeod turned it over. Comes to Garland right to the net. He scores! And Rogers Arena comes to life. Connor Garland with a huge goal in the second half of the third period makes it 3-1.
You got to get that first one, and that's exactly what Connor Garland does there, taking advantage of a mistake by Ryan McLeod. He gets the puck from Desharnais and then just whips on the puck, trying to make a pass. As Garland picks it up, Pettersson leaves it for him and does a good job of setting a bit of a pick on Ryan McLeod. And Garland goes stick side to beat Stuart Skinner 3-1. The Canucks have one on the board.
Garland's third of the playoffs and third of this series comes at 11:27 of the third period. The time of the goal is brought to you by Crow, your trusted advisors for 55 years. Learn more at crowmackay.ca. Canucks back in the Oilers zone. Kulak clears it down. It goes the full length of the ice, and it's icing against Edmonton. And now we'll see if this Canucks team can push and complete one last comeback in their final chance to extend their season.
The crowd is fired up, but that goal comes from a mistake, which is brought on by the pressure of Elias Pettersson, who makes Ryan McLeod look up, feel the pressure, and that's where the mistake happens. So the Canucks have to build off of that. And here comes JT Miller, Pettersson, and Garland again.
Face off against Draisaitl, left circle in the Oilers zone. Scramble draw one by Draisaitl back to the corner. Garland to the forecheck. Gets it to Pettersson behind the net. Try to wrap around. Skinner held it out. And Draisaitl takes his time clearing it off the glass to center. Holloway left wing into the Vancouver zone. Poke check by Hughes. Holds on to the puck. Dumps it behind the net. Hronek's got it far corner. Hronek for Pettersson. Flips it high in the air to center. To the Oiler line. Gloved ahead by Bouchard. Taken down by Hughes. McDavid couldn't touch it. It would have been a hand pass. Hughes in his own zone. Watched by Evander Kane. The pass to center, tipped away from Pettersson. Ekholm's got it in his own zone. He'll hold the puck as long as he can before clearing it back to the Canuck line. Hughes throws it up the far side. Nugent Hopkins dumps it back deep. And Hronek's got it behind his own net. Chased out the near side by McDavid. He'll leave down low for Hughes. Now Elias Lindholm gets it from Hughes at his own line. Passes near side to center for Pius Suter. Into the Oilers zone, right wing. Niels Höglander settles the puck, dumps it behind the net. Suter's got it left corner. Back to the line for Carson Soucy, left point. Passes far side. Höglander takes it in the right corner. Watched by McDavid. Protecting the puck down low. McDavid pries it loose for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and he'll lift it high in the air to center. Batted down by Soucy for Lindholm. Feeds left wing. Höglander tipped it to Suter. Couldn't get it deep into the zone. Comes back to Myers. He'll play right wing for Bluger, who has to wait. Höglander tagging up. And the Canucks regroup in the neutral zone. Under 7 minutes left, third period. Oilers up 3-1 in Game 7. Zadorov left wing for Bluger. Into the Edmonton end. Dumps it cross ice into the right corner. Zadorov on the forecheck. It's Desharnais hard into the end boards. Bluger gets it free, centered in front. Garland tried to tip it on. Zadorov was there too, but it's deflected wide of the net. And the Oilers clear to center. McDavid dumps it in left wing for the red line, and Connor Brown's after it far corner. Pushed to the end boards by Bluger. Hughes gets it back. Quinn Hughes to center for Garland. Driving to the Oiler line on right wing. Garland goes wide on Nurse. Lost the puck behind the net. Joshua's got it on the end boards. Pokes it free for Hughes. Top of the left circle, making moves to the line. Stood up, but it's held in by Zadorov. Nikita Zadorov chased down by Janmark. Backhand pass intended to go to Garland, left circle. Broken up by Desharnais, cleared to center by Connor Brown, and Hughes has it at his own line. Up the near side for Garland with the lone Canuck goal tonight. Dumps it left corner in the Oiler end. Just over 6 minutes left third period. Edmonton up 3-1 in Game 7. Desharnais will start the breakout for the Oilers. Right wing to center, he dumps it in. Hronek far boards. Passes middle of the ice to center for Pettersson. Into the Oilers zone. Has DiGiuseppe going to the goal. Gives it to him in front. He missed the net on a clean chance. Fired it past the stick side of Skinner. And now Draisaitl gets it off the glass to center. Glove down by Soucy. It's all Canucks now. Trying to push and get back within one. Pettersson on the forecheck, can't find the puck. Foegele near side, clears to the line, not out. Held in by Myers. Banks near boards for Miller. Back to Myers. Top of the point. Fakes a shot to the right circle. Throws it to the goal. It's deflected wide of the net, and Foegele near corner. Gets it out to center. Hughes knocks it down to the red line, but they're going to call it a hand pass as it deflected off Miller's glove. 5:23 left in the third period of Game 7. It's the Oilers 3 and the Canucks 1. We'll be back in a moment on Alpine Credits Canucks Playoff Hockey, streaming on the Sportsnet app and along the Sportsnet Radio Network.
BCers love hockey, and they also love burgers. What's even better is saving 20% off takeout during the playoffs. Order White Spot online and save 20% off with code SAVE20. Not valid on May 12th, June 16th, or on Pirate Packs and Alcohol. Only at whitespot.ca.
The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a
Hey Insiders, thanks for joining us for Game 7 of the Western Conference semifinals between the Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers. Which team will move on to face the Dallas Stars on Wednesday night? Only time will tell. Make sure you hit that like button down below. It's going to bring more Oilers and Canucks and hockey fans into the chat. And as well, share this stream out. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn that bell on so you see when we go live for every single game of the Western Conference and Eastern Conference Finals, the Stanley Cup Finals, and all Blue Jays season long. Thank you all for being here. We'll see you guys in the chat.
Get paid. Become an armchair landlord today. Hope Street, because life's too short to spend it managing properties.
Blue Jays legend Buck Martinez is coming to the Nat.
Swing and a drive. Get up, Buck.
Meet Buck and catch a C's game on Tuesday, May 28th as the Pacific Toyota Dealers Superstar Series continues. Get your tickets now at CanadiansBaseball.com.
Hey, this is Carson Soucy.
They score! And just like that, it's 3-2 Vancouver.
And you're on home of the Canucks, Sportsnet Radio Network.
5:23 left in the third period of Game 7. The Oilers lead the Canucks 3-1. Brendan Batchelor and Randeep Janda with you. Satyar Shah, Dan Riccio, and Yannick Hansen were with you on the pregame show. Sat has been with Bick Nazar and Brett Festerling at the intermissions. They'll be back on the postgame show where they'll be joined by Ian McIntyre. Fast Eddie Gregory is producing the broadcast from Sportsnet 650 Control, being helped by Ilan Chark, Lena Satagian, Dominic Shermatti, and executive producer Canberra are with us here at Rogers Arena. Canberra, the executive producer and our fearless leader. It takes a cast of thousands to bring you the action along the Sportsnet Radio Network. Oilers dump the puck into the Vancouver zone. Carson Soucy has it behind his own net. Far side for JT Miller. 5:10 left, third period. Canucks down 3-1 in Game 7. Here's Garland. Left wing to the Oiler line. Dumps it near boards for Pettersson. Fires it around the end wall. Miller takes it right wing. Protects it from Nugent Hopkins. Centered to Garland, high slot. Scoops it right point for Myers. Skating down the wall. Myers doesn't have a shooting lane. Goes to the corner. Try to dump it behind the net. It hit the referee. Ekholm and Miller will battle for it. Miller got it free near corner, but Bouchard is first to it, and he's content to ice the puck, throwing it all the way down. Myers back to it with 4:42 now left in the third period of the Oilers up 3-1.
And Connor Garland has been the spark plug in this third period. Energy all over the ice, whether it's in the defensive zone winning puck battles, playing with speed through the neutral zone, or just winning every battle and getting to the middle of the ice in the attacking zone. He's been all energy all the time here in the third.
Lindholm and McDavid on the draw. Lindholm wins it. Right circle for Hughes. Darting into the corner. Spins away from Nugent Hopkins. Top of the point. Hronek one-timer. He scores! Philip Hronek with a drive from the line. Scores his first career playoff goal. And what a time to do it! 4:36 left in the third period. It's a 3-2 hockey game.
This team just doesn't quit. And Phil the Thrill Hronek makes it a one-goal game as the Canucks win the faceoff and generate off the cycle a good job by Quinn Hughes to circle back, create a little bit of space for Philip Hronek, who leans into a one-timer, and it goes straight through Stuart Skinner.
And the Oilers are taking their timeout. 4:36 left, third period. Bedlam again at Rogers Arena. Canucks with 2 goals in a span of 3 minutes and 57 seconds have clawed back in spite of the fact they were outplayed for most of this game, and now they've got a chance to tie it late.
12 shots through 40 minutes of play. They've got 5 here in the third period and scored 2 goals on them. But it comes from zone time. It comes from aggressive play and winning battles. Philip Hronek, what a time to get your first goal in the playoffs.
Face-off at center. Draisaitl to take it against Lindholm. 4:36 left. The Hronek goal at 15:24 of the third period. The time of the goal is brought to you by Crow, your trusted advisors for 55 years. Learn more at crowmackay.ca. Canucks win the draw. Zadorov dumps it up the right wing. It goes all the way down. This will be icing against Vancouver.
And as we were talking about, it's about getting that first goal. If you can get that one, you get confidence, and then you start planting the seed of doubt in the opposition. And now the faces are a little bit long on the Edmonton Oilers bench, where you start to get worried of, the momentum has swung. It's not a done job yet. You still need that one goal to tie the game, but now you've planted the seed of doubt.
D-zone draw. Lindholm and Draisaitl to take it. Lindholm wins it cleanly. Back to the end boards for Zadorov. Scoops it around to the near side for Dakota Joshua. Joshua to center for Höglander. Deflected it into the Oiler end. Skinner out of the goal. Leaves for Kulak behind the net. Lost it in his skates. Chased down by Lindholm. Gets it free to Joshua. Tried a centering pass for Höglander. It was blocked by Draisaitl. Hronek right point. Dumps it behind the Oiler net. Höglander in the corner. Trying to spin off the check of Draisaitl. Got it to Lindholm down low. Left point Zadorov. Tries a shot, blocked by Holloway. Zadorov gets it back left wing. Passes rink wide, intended to go to Höglander right circle, but it tips off a stick and out of play. 3:55 left in the third period. Edmonton up 3-2 in Game 7 at Rogers Arena.
And Batch, the ice is opening up for the Vancouver Canucks as Edmonton is now chasing the play, and they're really getting quite loose in their defensive zone. Luckily for them, they got a stick in the passing lane there for Nikita Zadorov, but a lot more room to operate for Vancouver now as Vancouver's winning those puck battles.
Miller and Carrick to take the draw in the Oilers zone. Scrambled face-off. Chipped forward by Derek Ryan, and Carrick gets it left wing to center for Connor McDavid with speed to the Vancouver line. Forced wide by Hronek. Pushes him into the corner boards. Puck comes loose. Pettersson back to it. Chops it around to the near side. Foegele beats Hughes to the loose puck down low. Warren Foegele battling with Hronek, protecting the puck on the wall, trying to kill time. Now Hughes on top of him. Great work by Foegele here as he's still tying up the puck on the boards. 3.5 minutes left, third period. Canucks need to get it freed. Foegele grabbed the stick out of the hands of Hronek. No call. It comes down low to McDavid. Trying to the front of the goal. Poke check by Shilovs. Hyman's got it behind the Canuck net. Tied up by Hronek on the end boards. Canucks trying to pry this loose. Hyman has it tied up on the wall. They can't get it free. Hughes got it ahead to Garland, spinning deep in his own zone, pressured by Janmark, takes it behind his own net, out the far side, then spins back deep to take some time. 3 minutes left, third period. Oilers up 3-2 in Game 7. Here's Garland at his own line. Forced back into his own end by Nugent Hopkins, keeping the puck. He'll take it behind the net, Canucks completing a change. Garland, right wing for Myers. Making a move to center. Passes left wing for Soucy into the Oilers zone. There goes Shilovs to the bench. Soucy sent it through the crease and out the far side. Shilovs stays in the net, actually. He thought they were calling him, but he goes back into the crease, and the Canucks have to regroup in their own end. Soucy chased deep by Connor Brown. Holds onto the puck behind his own goal. 2:25 left, third period. Oilers up 3-2 in Game 7. Soucy, left wing for Miller. At the center ice circle, tried to clear it ahead. Draisaitl broke it up and dumps it back in. Wide of the net of Shilovs. Soucy near corner. Plays the puck behind the net. Far side for Tyler Myers. Throws it to the Oiler line, batted down by Ceci. He clears it the other way. Canucks nearly got caught with too many players on the ice on an awkward change, and Janmark dumps it behind the Canuck net. Shilovs leaves for Myers on the end boards, pressured by McDavid. Goes down low to Pettersson. He'll turn up ice under 2 minutes left now, third period. Pettersson right wing to center, dumps it in. There goes Shilovs to the bench. 6-on-5 for the Canucks. Hyman can't clear the zone near side. Now he does flip it out to center, and Hughes has it back at his own line. 1:45 left, third period. Game 7. Oilers up 3-2 on the Canucks. 6-on-5 for Vancouver with Shelovs on the bench. Desharnais behind his own goal, bobbled the puck. Pettersson after it, fell to the ice, cleared it right corner. Zadorov's after it down low. Lost it to Connor Brown. He'll clear it to center, but Hughes is back to it. Now under 90 seconds left. Hughes, left wing for Miller. Gave it away to Nugent Hopkins, trying to dump it in. The Oiler forward clears it off the glass and out. Hughes in his own zone, pressured by Draisaitl, spins away in the corner. Draisaitl fell. Here come the Canucks up the ice. Garland right wing, into the Oilers zone, moving high slot, dumps it left boards. Miller can't get to it. He's exhausted, but the Oilers can't clear. Pettersson fights it free. Garland trying to jam it to the net. Bouncing puck goes back to the corner. Pettersson wins a battle with Nugent Hopkins. Got it behind the goal. Nurse lost it to Garland. Up the left wing side. He's taken down into the boards by Nugent Hopkins. It comes free to Miller on the right wing. Final minute of the third. Puck deflects loose. Draisaitl's got a chance. Elected not to shoot. Dumps it to the Canuck line, and Hughes is back to it. Draisaitl knocks him down. Hughes keeps the puck. Spins it back left wing to center. 45 seconds to go. It's cleared to the Oiler line. Bouchard throws it out to center. Garland goes a rink-wide pass. Far side for Miller. Back to the left wing. Joshua chips it down the boards. Pinned to the wall by Bouchard. Cleared off the glass and out by Derek Ryan. A slow roller. Won't be heavy enough for icing. 30 seconds left. Canucks are exhausted, and they're running out of time. Hughes to his own line for Joshua. Drops near side. Niels Höglander into the Oilers zone. Clears it to the end boards. 20 seconds left. Ekholm back to it. Hit by Joshua. Hyman gets it free near corner. Pressured by Pettersson and Höglander. He's tying it up on the boards. A dozen seconds left. It comes in front. One-time chance for Miller. It's blocked. Oilers get it out to center. Zach Hyman at the red line holding onto the puck. 5 seconds left. Hronek at his own line. Takes a slap shot. It's tipped wide of the goal. And that is going to do it. What a push from the Vancouver Canucks late. But their season comes to an end in heartbreaking fashion as the Oilers outlast a late Vancouver push. The comeback Canucks just couldn't get it done again. And Edmonton wins Game 7 3-2 and advances to the Western Conference Final to face the Dallas Stars.
Fighting right till the end, the Canucks threw everything in the final 5 minutes that they could towards the Edmonton net. A lot of these players on the ice for 2.5 minutes, running out of energy, tired. JT Miller playing 27 minutes in this game and just couldn't find that goal. But listen to the crowd in this building, appreciative of the effort, especially in that third period. Vancouver, once they got that first goal, you knew they had a chance. They got that second one, and almost JT Miller could have had another one, but a big shot blocked by the Edmonton Oilers in the final seconds.
6-on-5. We know they've been so good all year, but they looked exhausted by the end of it. Just didn't have the legs as the two teams meet at center ice for the handshake line now. And the Oilers, who were so dominant throughout this game, advance to the West Final by the skin of their teeth, and the fans are chanting for Artur Shelovs now.
This is a hard-fought battle, and this tradition of shaking hands. Listen, there's been a lot of hits in this series. Vancouver landed 40, another 60-plus hits in this game. But the fact is, these guys can line up after this series and be appreciative of the battle they just had. And Vancouver tried very, very hard in the third period, just couldn't get it done. And they pushed Edmonton to the final seconds. This is a team that was picked by many to win the Stanley Cup this year and still is picked by many to win the Stanley Cup. And Vancouver came this close, Batch. Something they can be proud of this season. Remember, going back to the beginning of the year, how many people had the Vancouver Canucks making the playoffs? And this is a situation now, of course it's disappointing, but I think there's a lot to be proud of with this team as well.
And the handshake line continues. The Canucks will be bitterly disappointed, and I think we will hear from them out of the Canuck dressing room and out of head coach Rick Tocchet about how, again, they've been resilient. They've come from behind a lot this year, but they left this one too late. They didn't play well enough through really the first 50 minutes, 49 minutes, whatever it was, of this game before they got the first goal. And they've come back so much this year. They've authored so many great stories, but they left this one just a little bit too late.
Well, look at the third period. 5 shots on goal, 2 goals against. So if you put that pressure on Stuart Skinner and this Edmonton defense, there were opportunities. And credit to Edmonton, they blocked 22 shots tonight. That is something to be, proud of for them. But Vancouver, no doubt about that. I think for about 45, 50 minutes of this game, they weren't able to get out of maybe second or third gear. You need to empty that tank, and unfortunately, they weren't able to do that until late in the game. but they brought it late, just couldn't get that tying goal.
The fans are on their feet waving the towels. The handshake line has concluded. And now the Canucks, disappointed at the result, will recognize and acknowledge the tremendous fan support they've had in this building one last time with their season coming to an end. Heartbreaking fashion, Game 7 of the second round at the hands of the Edmonton Oilers. And here they go with their sticks in the air.
Rick Tocchet waving to the crowd and the players sticking around, applauding, raising their sticks to the air. This is a group of players that inspired this fan base to believe again. Last couple of years haven't been easy for this fan base, but this group of players from Game 1 to 82 to the playoffs played a certain style, defied the odds, made it to the playoffs, and were able to win around and really take the Edmonton Oilers to the brink. And that's the appreciation you hear.
Our last opportunity here to thank all of our listeners along the Sportsnet Radio Network. We heard from so many people all season long. AJ in Atlanta, Kaya in Tokyo, Grant in Tasmania, Australia, David in Dunedin, New Zealand, Max in Nottingham in the United Kingdom and England, Kyle in Louisville, Kentucky. Everybody else, we thank you for listening to these broadcasts all year long. We truly do appreciate it. It's been a fun one. Make sure to stay tuned for the post-game show. Keep it locked to Sportsnet 650 for all the news in the Canucks offseason. But that does it for us tonight. Once again, the final score at Rogers Arena, the Oilers 3 and the Canucks 2 in Game 7. Edmonton wins the series 4-3 and advances to the Western Conference Final to face the Dallas Stars. For Randeep Janda, for the last time this season, this is Brendan Batchelor in Vancouver. The Canucks Central post-game show starts right now.
This is the Canucks Central postgame show.
Skinner out of the goal to handle. Leaves near corner.
What's up, insiders? All right, 20,977 subscribers, 23 away. By the time I'm done ranting over that valiant effort by the Vancouver Canucks, fell up just a bit short. But hit that subscribe button, guys. Let's get over 21,000 before the end of this stream. It'll be awesome. We still have 2,800 watching. Thank you all for being here. Everybody in the chat. My God, this has been insane. And thank you all for reaching out to me and making me do these hockey games. Since the Leafs got knocked out, and then we were just going only Jays there for a while, and then the messages started pouring in. Mike, we want you to do these games. Mike, come on, man. Are you doing the hockey games? Are you doing the hockey games? I'm doing the hockey games. We're going to do every single game from here on out. Oilers fans, congratulations. Rangers fans, I see you in the chat. Panthers fans as well, I see you in the chat. Dallas Stars, I apologize for the technical issues in Game 5. Not Game 5. Was it Game 6? I think it was Game 6 in overtime there. But anyways, guys, thank you. Vancouver, really tough way to go out there with that comeback at the end, but they just didn't bring the heat in the first couple of periods. Didn't have that intensity that they needed. But I don't know, man. They've had a tough run this season. I think overall it's a good year for Vancouver. You got to give them props for what they did. Even though they were the higher ranked team and had home ice going into this 7th game here against the Oilers, the Oilers have the star power. McDavid, Draisaitl, they got it done. That's only a few of them. But anyways, guys, we're going to be doing this every single game from here on out through the rest of the playoffs, through the Stanley Cup. So please tell your friends. The best way that you can help this channel and this community grow, as we're almost at 21,000 now, just 10 away, is to share this. You see the chat, you see what it's about. This is the reason why I do this, is to have a place for sports fans, for hockey fans to hang out together and enjoy the game. And you all are awesome in the chat, so keep it up, and please promote the channel. Please share the link and get it out there on any hockey boards, chat boards, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm an old man. I'm really not that old, but I'm a dad, and I'm not that good with this social media stuff, so I really actually suck at it. So it's kind of a miracle that I've been able to kind of make this stuff happen. But anyways, I'm going to take it back to the post game. here as so that we can get back to the hockey, because that's what we're here for, not my little mouth running off talking. So anyways, big shout out to the Vancouver Canucks. Big reason why this channel is where it is today is because of Vancouver. And again, shout out to Dan. Thank you for sending that picture to Melissa and then over to me to get out here to our fans. And yeah, it's the background for the Canucks games next year, so I appreciate that. Thanks, man, and letting our fans see a live shot from the game is cool too. And there you go. Riots, no riot. Come on, people, don't riot in Vancouver. Don't riot. Anyways, 20,995, 5 more to go. Take it home to 21,000, but we're not celebrating 21 because the next one is 25,000 that we're going to celebrate. And we're just going to keep on going all the way up to 100,000. And we're going to celebrate that plaque after a Maple Leafs game at the top of the CN Tower. First come, first serve. We're going to walk right on over from the Air Canada Centre, Scotiabank, whatever, and do it up. Anyways, I'm going to shut the hell up. 2 more to go. Appreciate it. Good luck to the Oilers taking on the Stars, and we'll be back tomorrow for Blue Jays baseball, as well as on Wednesday for the Rangers-Panthers game 1. And yeah, then what is it? Then Thursday night is Stars-Oilers game 1. Texas hockey. All right, as we approach 80,000 views. Good night, everybody. I'll let the postgame run as long as it's on. I just don't want to hear Frank Trachtenberg talk too much longer. Thanks, everybody.
Oilers PK won them the series.
Yeah.
Really, the 5-on-3 in Game 6.
And hey, thank you for 21,000 as it just hit over as I switch back. So thank you for hitting that button. Appreciate it.
Their season, I believe, by Edmonton, they're the only team one of the 6 teams that's over 90% in the playoffs, right? So that's a huge part of the game, and we said special teams was going to be key going in. We thought it was going to be the power play for them, but it ends up being the PK.
And there was one play, it happened a couple of times on the PK for the Oilers, but they had 3 guys in the battle. Remember, they're down a man, and the confidence that they had winning those battles didn't matter if they were down a man. They won them and got the puck out. So I think obviously that comes from a place of, hey, we're going to challenge you. We know you have no confidence, so if we're 50-50 battle, we're counting on ourselves to win, and that speaks to the confidence or lack thereof for the Canucks. The other thing, Bick, you mentioned it after the Hronek goal. I think that Warren Foegele, Connor McDavid shift right after Fogel's in the corner.
Goes in, yeah.
Hyman goes in as well. That really killed the momentum for Vancouver, where Foegele just killed about 10 to 12 seconds in the corner by himself. And, that was a big shift for them, and that really took away that momentum that Vancouver was building after that goal.
Yeah, they actually got a change, right?
Yep.
Foegele held it. Yeah. Edmonton was able to get their players off and get fresh guys on the ice to kill, so it was huge by Foegele.
It was, and you got to give Edmonton credit, right? I mean, we talk so much about the D-man matchup going into this series, Evan Bouchard versus Quinn Hughes, and, I mean, I'll still take Quinn Hughes over Bouchard, generally speaking, in terms of overall talent. But there's no question, Evan Bouchard had the more impactful series for the Edmonton Oilers. Another big game here, Game 7. His shot was a tremendous threat. And they never really forced him to play defense a ton. He barely spent any time in his own zone. And that's where you can maybe get him caught a bit, get him caught in transition a little bit. Not the best skater at times. But they never exposed any of his weaknesses. And if anything, his strengths were just on full display this entire series. He made a magnificent difference for Edmonton. And Quinn was never able to generate anywhere near the same amount of offense as Bouchard was able to generate for his team. And I think Bouchard may have been the best player in the series, guys.
Yeah, 4 goals. He picked up a couple assists tonight as well. But the only time they really targeted him was when Phil DiGiuseppe scored that goal in Game 5. Remember, Oman and him come with a forecheck. He gives up the puck and ends up in the back of the net. Outside of that, there wasn't any egregious giveaways or errors by him. But I think from, just the right-hand side, they were attacking the right point over and over, getting that shot through, whether it was Ceci scoring, whether it was Bouchard with that 90-plus mile-per-hour shot bouncing off the boards, and even on the RNH goal. And it was just, Evan Bouchard was a force in this series, and unfortunately Vancouver didn't have an answer.
Yeah, he was a difference maker, and you're right. Ekholm and him played most of their defense on the north side of the red line. They really didn't have to go into their zone and grind it all or really get hit that much. You saw when they did force him late in the game, he gets the icing, and that's where the Hronek goal eventually comes from. But he didn't have to play enough in his own zone.
Yeah, they were just so mobile, him and Ekholm, right? And we've referenced many times tonight through the series, just as you say, north of the red line. Like, they were so aggressive, and everything just looked slow for Vancouver coming up the ice when they were on the ice, and even when Nurse and Desharnais, I think that switched too in the series, getting Nurse and CC away, plays a big role as well. But, hats off. Bouchard had a big series. I'm curious when we find out later this week. Like, there were moments in this game, and as the series developed, it looked like Quinn Hughes was evading contact.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see what we find out later this week.
And I'm sure there are reasons for it, but the thing that matters at the end of the day is who produced, right?
Yep.
And you can obviously excuse it, and you can look for reasons to get better next time around and learn from it. But that was a difference here. The Oilers stars came through in a massive way. The Canucks stars were not able to match it in the series.
And one of the first person to probably agree with that take is going to be Quinn Hughes. Hey, I should probably, I need to elevate my game. Whether he's hurt or not, that's the reality. A lot of these, really elite players will look at themselves in the mirror and say, I could have maybe done a little bit more. But the fact of the matter is the Oilers, they played well, but Vancouver, even in that third period, guys, 5 shots on goal, 2 goals against for the Edmonton Oilers, right? Like, it makes you think, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of disappointment in that room to say, hey, if we would have tested the goaltender a little bit more, if we would have been able to get shots through, and credit to Edmonton, they blocked 21 shots tonight, and that's in the second period. They were okay to collapse a little bit and just get in front of pucks, but internally you're probably saying, hey, this guy wasn't confident, and we just couldn't get enough through.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Randy, before we let you go and take a break here, tremendous stuff calling the games alongside Brendan Batchelor this season. Like, what's your main takeaway about this year and now heading into next season?
Yeah, I think, with the Canucks this year, and guys, we all talked about it at the beginning of the year, the expectations and what this team could be. And I just love, being able to call these games and then just gauge the market and what this team meant to the market and vice versa. There's a love of hockey again. And Vancouverites and British Columbians and Canucks fans have always loved hockey. But, the love of team and having pride in your team, that's back in Vancouver. Hockey, like you said, Sat, is fun. Looking ahead to next year, I'm sure there's going to be turnover. And that's kind of the sad part of this business where you have a cap. There's players that you love on this team that may or may not be back. But I think more than anything, this group made hockey fun in this city. Whether it was in the arena, whether it was viewing parties, whether it was international fans, whether it was Scott Road, doesn't matter. It was awesome to be a hockey fan back in the city, and it's our honor to call these games, work alongside you guys as well. It was cool. And guys, Sat, Bick, we've been here for a long time as well with the station, so to experience this very first time on these radio airwaves, I want to thank not only the listeners, because without them, this station doesn't exist, but also you guys as well. It's been a fun ride. It's been an awesome one, and Cam as well. I can't forget Cam.
Oh my word!
Well, forget the boss. Well. You had to at the very end. Yeah.
He was in my my
blind spot.
He was my blind spot. I had to do a quick shoulder check there.
It was a little bit late, but you got it in there. It was a smart career decision at the very end.
Against me, isn't he?
Randy, great stuff, man. Calling the game, and we look forward to chatting with you throughout the off season, and hopefully better and bigger things next season as well.
All right, boys. Always a good time hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, you got it, man. That's Randy Janda. It's Satyar Shaw with Bick Nazar and Brett Festerling. We'll be back on the other side. Keep your thoughts coming into our text inbox, 650-650. We'll take your phone calls, and we'll hear from the Canucks head coach. That's coming up next on the Canucks Central Postgame Show, presented by the number 5 Orange, a Vancouver legend. They got sports too. More next on the home of your Canucks, Sportsnet 650.
You've been listening to NHL Play-by-Play on SiriusXM. Head over to SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, for the best hockey talk.
With the Panthers going 2-0-1. Coming into this series, the Rangers sport the number 1 penalty-killing unit in the playoffs, and a red-hot Igor Shesterkin in net, sporting a 2.40 goals against average and a 9.23 save percentage, leading both stats in the postseason. Florida does have tons of firepower, with Matthew Tkachuk leading the way with 14 points and Alexander Barkov having 13 of his own. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL playoffs, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 31st. No hockey on the schedule tonight, but we do know that the Eastern Conference Finals will start up on Wednesday with an 8 p.m. puck drop between the Florida Panthers and New York Rangers. The Panthers had the edge in the regular season of this matchup, with the Panthers going 2-0-1. Coming into this series, the Rangers sport the number 1 penalty-killing unit in the playoffs, and a red-hot Igor Shesterkin in net, sporting a 2.40 goals against average and a 9.23 save percentage, leading both stats in the postseason. Florida does have tons of firepower, with Matthew Tkachuk leading the way with 14 points and Alexander Barkov having 13 of his own. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL playoffs, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 31st. No hockey on the schedule tonight, but we do know that the Eastern Conference Finals will start up on Wednesday with an 8 p.m. puck drop between the Florida Panthers and New York Rangers. The Panthers had the edge in the regular season of this matchup, with the Panthers going 2-0-1. Coming into this series, the Rangers sport the number one penalty-killing unit in the playoffs, and a red-hot Igor Shesterkin in net, sporting a 2.40 goals against average and a 9.23 save percentage, leading both stats in the postseason. Florida does have tons of firepower, with Matthew Tkachuk leading the way with 14 points and Alexander Barkov having 13 of his own. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL playoffs, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91.
SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio is the place for expert advice, strategy, and information from the best fantasy sports analysis to win your league. Plus, hear pick-by-pick coverage of live drafts and interviews with top players, coaches, and team executives on SiriusXM 87.
Former NHL player and former head coach of the St. Louis Blues, Craig Berube, joined Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick for the morning skate on NHL Network Radio on SiriusXM Channel 91 to discuss Sheldon Keefe and how the relationships between coaches and players have changed throughout the years.
Very classy. He's a classy person, and he was fortunate to coach at Toronto Maple Leafs. Obviously a great place, great market, and a great hockey organization. And, it was a classy play. And he wanted to let everyone know how thankful he was, the players, the people, and everybody. And, I love seeing it. And you don't want to see anybody lose their job, I'll tell you that, in this business as a coach. And I've lost my job before. So it's, I thought it was a real classy move on his part. And, listen, you get hired, you work with people, and you form real good relationships with your players, the people around you, and everything. And listen, at times we've got to make a change. That's part of the business, and and coaches understand that. And you're not happy about losing your job, but at the same time, you got to move on. And I think you don't want to sit there and burn bridges. That doesn't do anything. You got to move on and be respectful, and he did that.
Was watching a show yesterday too, Greg, and they were saying, because they were replaying one of your clips from St. Louis where you said our star players just are not bringing it. Our star players have to be held accountable. They have to be better for us to have a chance to win. You made no bones about it. And they were saying on this show, this is what we need kind of thing, right? This is why Craig Berube's been pursued like he has been. We've talked to you about how much better a coach you were the second time around as compared to the first opportunity you got as well. Can you talk to us about how maybe handling players and dealing with players and communicating with certain players is maybe different than it once was 20 years ago, or maybe the same in some ways?
No, it is a little bit of both, but it's definitely changed a lot. I mean, back when I played, you didn't talk to the coach a lot, and you could talk to a lot of players that played my era. They'd say the same thing. There wasn't a lot of communication. Hey, that's your job, go and do it, and, you almost held yourself accountable. But we were different people back then, and things have changed. Players have changed, the personalities have changed. There's a lot that went on, and communication is really important nowadays. And partnerships. A coach has to really form partnerships with his players, and they have to understand what's expected out of them. And, when they're not doing the job, you got to let them know. And you don't have to let them know in the media. You got to let them know personally and talk to them about it. And you still got to hold people accountable, but there's got to be communication with the accountability. You can't just do things without, I think it's important to communicate with them first. Look, I'm going to have to sit you out. I'm going to have to bench you. I'm going to have to do certain things if your play doesn't pick up, but they have to know why. They want to know why. So communication is really important. And I think, all coaches know that nowadays.
That was former head coach Craig Berube on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio on SiriusXM Channel 91.
Get the latest news, opinion, and analysis from MMA to boxing and the professional wrestling world 24/7. SiriusXM Fight Nation, SiriusXM 156, and the SXM app.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 31st. No hockey on the schedule tonight, but we do know that the Eastern Conference Finals will start up on Wednesday with an 8 p.m. puck drop between the Florida Panthers and New York Rangers. The Panthers had the edge in the regular season of this matchup, with the Panthers going 2-0-1. Coming into this series, the Rangers sport the number one penalty-killing unit in the playoffs, and a red-hot Igor Shesterkin in net, sporting a 2.40 goals against average and a 9.23 save percentage, leading both stats in the postseason. Florida does have tons of firepower, with Matthew Tkachuk leading the way with 14 points and Alexander Barkov having 13 of his own. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL playoffs, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 31st. No hockey on the schedule tonight, but we do know that the Eastern Conference Finals will start up on Wednesday with an 8 p.m. puck drop between the Florida Panthers and New York Rangers. The Panthers had the edge in the regular season of this matchup, with the Panthers going 2-0-1. Coming into this series, the Rangers sport the number one penalty-killing unit in the playoffs, and a red-hot Igor Shesterkin in net, sporting a 2.40 goals against average and a 9.23 save percentage, leading both stats in the postseason. Florida does have tons of firepower, with Matthew Tkachuk leading the way with 14 points and Alexander Barkov having 13 of his own. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL playoffs, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 31st. No hockey on the schedule tonight, but we do know that the Eastern Conference Finals will start up on Wednesday with an 8 p.m. puck drop between the Florida Panthers and New York Rangers. The Panthers had the edge in the regular season of this matchup, with the Panthers going 2-0-1. Coming into this series, the Rangers sport the number one penalty-killing unit in the playoffs, and a red-hot Igor Shesterkin in net, sporting a 2.40 goals against average and a 9.23 save percentage, leading both stats in the postseason. Florida does have tons of firepower, with Matthew Tkachuk leading the way with 14 points and Alexander Barkov having 13 of his own. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL playoffs, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91.
Mad Dog Sports Radio has the best sports talk in the business, covering sports with a passion and knowledge you need. Mad Dog Sports Radio, SiriusXM 86, and the SXM app.
The Ottawa Senators' new head coach, Travis Green, stopped by SiriusXM NHL Network Radio on Channel 91 to talk with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick on the morning skate about what it's going to be like coaching the Ottawa Senators and how they can grow as a team.
Yeah, excited for the opportunity, excited for the challenge. Young team, it's got a lot of room to grow. Passionate fan base. For me, great ownership. Great management after talking with Steve Stale, Dave Poulin. So I'm excited, real happy to be here.
So a couple of months ago when you're working with another team and you're doing your pre-scout on the Ottawa Senators, describe the Ottawa Senators team you would have said back then.
If they're on their game, they're going to be hard to beat. And I think if you watch some of the games that Ottawa played last year, some nights they looked unbeatable and some nights they didn't look like they could win. I actually remember coming into the building the first time that we played here and a little bit nervous, and I didn't think Ottawa played very well. Then when they came to our building, they whipped us around pretty good. It didn't look like we could touch the puck. So, a team with a lot of skill, a lot of speed, a lot of, and some gritty players as well. But like a lot of young teams, there's some inconsistencies from game to game, and that's not a recipe for long-term success or making the playoffs. Teams that win in the playoffs or make the playoffs have a lot of consistency in their game.
Oh, that's the whole thing, Travis. I mean, you went through it as a player, too, as a young guy trying to find your way in the NHL, too. And when you look at this team as young as it is, and you mentioned yesterday as well, it's got a real good opportunity to grow here. I mean, at some point, players do turn the corner. What kind of a role does the coaching staff play in helping a young guy obviously turn the corner and find that consistency?
Well, I think you just nailed it. That's the key to coaching young teams is how you teach them, how you develop them, how you work with them individually, but also collectively. It's not just about becoming a better player with the puck or how you stick handle. A lot of times it's the things you do away from the puck or even being mentally focused from day to day. It sounds silly, but young players just aren't as consistent. Their habits aren't as good. They're not quite as prepared. And the longer you're in the league, the better you get at some of those areas that I'm talking about. But you also don't stay in the league if you don't get better or you don't win. And my job as a coach is to really teach and develop and work on that area
and make it individualized so the team collectively can be better.
How do you think, and we talk about a young team growing, Travis, I mean, you're a relatively still young head coach. I mean, how do you think you've changed as a coach since the American Hockey League success, certainly, and jumping in with Vancouver? How much better off do you think you are in what you do?
It's like anything. I'm a lot better coach than I was when I was in the American Hockey League, or when I was in Portland of the Western Hockey League, or when I was in my first year 6-7 years ago in Vancouver. I think it's when you guys look back and people look back at what they're doing, you just get better with time, with experience, going through experiences, good or going through adversity, that help you grow.
MLB Network Radio is your home for 24/7 baseball talk, featuring on-site coverage of every major event from spring training through the World Series and expert analysis from former general managers and players. SiriusXM Channel 89.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 31st. No hockey on the schedule tonight, but we do know that the Eastern Conference Finals will start up on Wednesday with an 8 p.m. puck drop between the Florida Panthers and New York Rangers. The Panthers had the edge in the regular season of this matchup, with the Panthers going 2-0-1. Coming into this series, the Rangers sport the #1 penalty-killing unit in the playoffs, and a red-hot Igor Shesterkin in net, sporting a 2.40 goals against average and a 9.23 save percentage, leading both stats in the postseason. Florida does have tons of firepower, with Matthew Tkachuk leading the way with 14 points and Alexander Barkov having 13 of his own. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL playoffs, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 31st. No hockey on the schedule tonight, but we do know that the Eastern Conference Finals will start up on Wednesday with an 8 p.m. puck drop between the Florida Panthers and New York Rangers. The Panthers had the edge in the regular season of this matchup, with the Panthers going 2-0-1. Coming into this series, the Rangers sport the #1 penalty-killing unit in the playoffs, and a red-hot Igor Shesterkin in net, sporting a 2.40 goals against average and a 9.23 save percentage, leading both stats in the postseason. Florida does have tons of firepower, with Matthew Tkachuk leading the way with 14 points and Alexander Barkov having 13 of his own. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL playoffs, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 31st. No hockey on the schedule tonight, but we do know that the Eastern Conference Finals will start up on Wednesday with an 8 p.m. puck drop between the Florida Panthers and New York Rangers. The Panthers had the edge in the regular season of this matchup, with the Panthers going 2-0-1. Coming into this series, the Rangers sport the #1 penalty-killing unit in the playoffs, and a red-hot Igor Shesterkin in net, sporting a 2.40 goals against average and a 9.23 save percentage, leading both stats in the postseason. Florida does have tons of firepower, with Matthew Tkachuk leading the way with 14 points and Alexander Barkov having 13 of his own. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL playoffs, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91.
On the court and off, your home for the NBA is SiriusXM. Follow all the drama as your favorite team vies for it all. SiriusXM NBA Radio, SiriusXM 86.
Jay Kahn from SiriusXM NHL Network Radio was on the Daily Edition with Matt Gurney on Canada Talks, Channel 167, to talk about the Toronto Maple Leafs coaching decisions now that Sheldon Keefe is gone, and they look for someone to take over the team and bring in a different perspective for the roster.
Wonder if there is an element of a different coach needing to come in with a different style of coaching to make better use of the parts the Leafs have.
Yeah, and no, I think that's 100% right. And at the end of the day too, I feel like when you have a coach there for a long time with the same core group of players, the message does get lost a little bit. And sometimes it's just change for the sake of change. But I think in this instance, it's a necessary change for the Leafs to make. And I'm curious, and we can get into who they could bring in as the next head coach. There's plenty of options out there, plenty of teams that have coaching vacancies as well. But in terms of his decision making, I mean, I didn't agree with many of the decisions. Now there were some, and I referenced it, just before about the adjustments he was able to make in that Boston series. That was a positive for me, but there were plenty of negatives for me over the years as well. And I did feel like he got a little stubborn at times as well. And, I don't know if the power play is completely on him. I know Guy Boucher was running the power play there in the playoffs, but, it just looked so stale, and they were doing nothing different to fix it or to change anything up. And in short series, like we get in the playoffs and small sample size, you can't sit around and wait for things to just play themselves out. You have to be able to make these adjustments and, not be afraid to maybe make a difficult decision in the playoffs, because it can get away from you very quickly.
When we talk about the rest of the coaches, do you think there will be a new head coach who will be slotted in over the existing staff, or do you think there's going to be some wholesale change postseason behind the bench?
Yeah, I think it depends on who comes in, and they could have the autonomy to maybe bring in their own staff, maybe keep an assistant here, keep a position here, but I wouldn't rule anything out at this point. And there's a lot of interesting options out there. I think if you were to bring in a younger head coach, for example, which I don't think the Leafs will do, then yeah, maybe you keep the assistants, you keep some of the people in place. But if you're bringing in a veteran, which I'm more than likely I think is the route that they're going to go here, with the options that you're seeing available, those coaches tend to have their guys, right? So I think that could open up the door to maybe bringing in some other pieces, some other